All right, everybody, welcome back, or welcome if you are just joining us. We are about to see the finals. This is the Indoor Grand Prix Star Wars CCG Championship. The final two players left after a grueling 2 days are Hayes Hunter. He is at the bottom of your screen. He is the light side player playing the no idea objective. And at the top of the screen, we have Brian Fred. He is a dark side player playing Agents of the Black Sun. It is, of course, a matchup between two first name players. We got Fred and Hunter. Fred Bryan and Hunter Hayes playing.
Also, I was told that Kessling and Taco Bell are no longer doing the active judging, so we need to do it.
Oh boy, nobody is
So, unless would you
available
rather
to
be in
active
there?
judge? No,
If
I
you
want to commentate.
okay,
Uh, uh,
unless we can find somebody to do it,
okay.
I'll hold down the fort if you want to try to find someone to do it. You got someone?
Yeah,
Okay, who's doing it?
Mishki.
Okay, that'll work.
So Mishki stepped up, said he would active judge
All right, cool.
reluctantly.
Yeah, because
Um,
Kessling and Taco Bell are playing Star Wars: The Gathering.
so I'll remind Mishki to set a timer
Yeah,
on
and we
his
can
phone.
also. I guess we
I
just
think they're
started.
an
We
hour and
just
a half for the finals, which we shouldn't run into.
All right, opening hand for B Fred. Sense, Imperial Square, Vigo, V, IG88, Dark Time, Gick Combo, Keeg, and another. So he's got two senses in his starting hand. Dark Time, Keeg, Gick, Vigo V, and the Imperial Square in the starting hand.
Those senses will be big for Hayes' evasion like barrier, and
And Hayes' starting hand is eight
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 cards.
cards with silver sleeves. That's a
Um,
good one.
so they do have an hour and a half for this game. We're starting at about
Right about the half hour.
yeah 4:30 or 7:30 Eastern. Um, so max is an hour and a half, though I don't think this should go
Yeah,
to time. I don't think either of our matches will go to time. Hour and a half's a long time. We should be wrapped up before then. Um, so Hayes starts out playing grabber.
so B Fred does start the
Fred also
decree
grabbers.
for the Stardust damage.
Yep. So if you were not, we did see Eric Hunter's No Idea versus B Fred's, and my thought before the game was No Idea should win by about 8 to 12, and it ended up No Idea won by 7 after a rough start. Hayes is pretty confident in this matchup. He thinks he's going to win by 15 plus, is what he told me, because he feels pretty confident against Black Sun. Um, oh yeah, Sam points out that sense also cancels a react,
Those
so
troopers,
the
yeah.
troopers reacting sense. So they're good cards for Beefred to have. Hayes does go ahead and just immediately play do or do not shield.
Yep.
He knows that that's gonna be a thing.
Goes to the
All right, so
Vigo.
the Vigo comes down for 2, and the Vigo will do his normal Polish Usurer's Palace sights and
And
get
we
that.
saw B Fred opening hand the square, but we've kind of seen maybe AOBS players a little more reluctant to play the square since it's another place that spies can go to, but
Yeah, I think you need the force.
probably need
He's
the
gotta deal with
activation,
it,
yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how he deals with the system. The last game we saw Fred sort of bait an over deployment up at Scarif and then go down to the Coruscant system. So, but we know that Black Sun has to be at a system so that they can get their damage going
Right.
for free.
Because they don't do a ton of force drain damage. If they're having to pay for all those ping drains, it's not very efficient.
So he pulls Oppressive and pulls Shizor's Bounty
With the fanfare shield.
with the Fanfare Shield. Yeah, sorry.
So it's
not
grabber,
Oppressive.
fanfare, and secret
Secret
plans.
Plans, and then he pays 1 with the Vigo to pull Shizor's
And Shizor's Palace pulls the uplink.
Did we see Hayes' hand?
No, we saw the silver sleeves. He showed us
Oh
those.
yeah, that's right.
So we saw his hand, but not the
Uh,
card text part of his hand.
and Fred does get the free 2-0 site, which is nice, not having to pay 2 fours
Just
for
thinking
it.
about putting it down. There he goes. Oh, maybe not.
It looks like in his hand there's a Jin, there's Tantive.
So he does decide to deploy the Imperial Square. Like I said, get the 2 force. So he didn't have to pay for it. It's pretty good.
All right, so assuming you weren't watching that last game, sort of the general idea with each of these decks, the no idea deck is going to want to pick up Stardust with a spy and start draining at the beach, and then eventually go to those 2 Coruscant sites to drain the non-battleground Coruscant sites while being at a system. Dark
Yep.
side is going to want to be at their own site, so he does move Shizor flip. He's gonna he doesn't have a card that he wants to put down from hand, so he decides to just go ahead and draw a few. Doesn't want to peek at his force
Yeah,
pile
we saw
quite
his
yet.
hand. It was pretty good,
Yeah,
so not surprised there.
yeah.
But
Oh
he
no,
might draw one
no.
and then.
Apparently he does.
Okay, he
Does
did.
go ahead and put one down to
He
see
did
what
have
there
two
is.
senses, so maybe he could put one of those back. Or
He sees Fed as the bottom card. That's a good one to
yeah,
have.
that is a
I
really
wouldn't be
good card.
surprised if he draws them all and
Because then he
just
can
activates
activate
one
with wipe. Yeah.
That can pay for the Shizor's bounty. So Light will want to be in space. Dark will also want to be in space, and because what they're going to want to do is be at 3 battlegrounds with Emperor and Coruscant, so that they can ping with shadows on their turn by drawing from force pile and being at 3 battlegrounds, and then they'll drain one, and then they'll want to go attack with IG-88 with gun, Dengar with
Boba
gun,
Fett,
Boba
Bounty Hunter,
Fett, like and go attack.
Forlom.
Yeah, and so Light might be able to get in a spy beatdown. Dark might be able to get in a bounty hunter beatdown, and then they both kind of go wide and start draining.
Yep.
And
We've seen
we have
this.
we have some good interplay between the trade-off of spreading wide to drain versus not being too
Setting
susceptible
yourself
for
up for
beating.
beats downs.
Yeah,
Yep.
beat down and trying to beat them down, and so it's a fun interactive match here.
Yeah.
Hayes pulls a docking bay with
Pulls the
insurrection,
beach.
the home one docking bay, and then pulls the beach with the objective. And note, it's always very important to pull with insurrection first, because if you pull with your objective and you activated
All your Scarif
all your
sites, you have to
Scarif
pull
sites,
a ship.
yeah. Court has that same problem, where if
Yep.
they try and pull the docking bay, they
Yep.
might get stuck into pulling a ship.
Yep.
Um,
Or sometimes ROPS, you go for a site and there's no sites and you have to
you
pull a
have to pull
non-unique.
garrison or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
that can be a bummer.
It happened to Chris Werfs when he was playing his ROPS mains yesterday against Kyle Kruger on stream. Went for a site and then had to pull a Stormtrooper garrison.
Ouch.
Messed up his whole turn. So then the other matchup in this one will be Fred's Diplo versus Hayes's map. Is that what
Yep.
he's playing for Dark Side?
Yep, and we'll talk about some of the spicy tricks on that when we
Right.
get into the next game. But Hayes has a weird. It's definitely a day 2 version.
Yeah, he showed me some of the saucy tech, so to speak.
Yeah. All right, so Hayes pays a couple force for something.
Chirrut.
Chirrut comes down for 3. All spies are -1 with MiG-10. Men feel like 100.
Right.
Goldenrod is out. Looks like Hayes pulled it when Emperor's Sight came out, so he couldn't just free Emperor.
Yep. It's not a bad play.
Which, now that that the Emperor's Sight is way over there, he's not going to pay 2 to put Emperor over there. He'll just pay 5 for Emperor over the battleground.
Right.
Oh, and
Okay.
he plays Ezra right away to the Emperor's Sight, which is interesting because if light side controls, Emperor can't deploy.
Oh,
So
okay.
dark side would have to first play a guy there, then
And
pay
then,
5 for Emperor somewhere else because Emperor
because
can't deploy where they have a character,
right, right.
and then um, he could get Emperor out. And Ezra has text that at the beginning of Dark's turn,
You can
either Hayes
either
will get to activate 2
or
or
here
Brian will
Brian
activate
like
2
yeah,
less,
exactly, yeah.
and it will
So
be
that's
Brian's
interesting.
choice. So that's a fun
It is
early
that's
play.
a
Of course,
pressure play there from
and
Hayes.
the other thing is she can drain 3 there if there's not a response, unless Coward comes out.
Hmm.
But
That's a whole other shield that
that's a whole
maybe
nother
B-Fred
shield.
doesn't want to play.
Right. So,
Definitely, yeah.
so Hayes asks him, "What do you want to do with Ezra right now?" Fred
Hmm.
likely will give Hayes 2 force because activating 2 less this early is kind of rough.
Right.
Fred's getting 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So he could take
Go to 11.
13 or 11, or he could give,
Give Hayes 2.
yeah, 13 and give Hayes 2, or 11 and give Hayes none. So let's see what he. Feel like this early, you got to give him 2 and play your game plan.
Yep.
Especially with you need to get a guy down to stop Ezra and stuff. So
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
so
Nope.
no, he didn't want to give him
Yeah.
2. I
Yeah.
guess because Hayes has 3, he was worried about giving him more
More.
so that he could barrier and reacting trooper, and it gives him more options.
It's a trap if he gets up above. He has 3 right now.
He's got 3, so he
Yeah.
can it's a trap or reacting dude, but giving him another 2 also allows barrier. It allows multiple things
Yeah.
on top of.
Yeah.
And Fred may be hoping that he burns one of them on a barrier,
Hmm.
which he can then sense,
Yep.
and then he won't have the force for a reacting dude or troop or whatever, so he didn't want to give him 2 more.
Yeah.
Let's see, alright, so he pings 1 with the objective, and Hayes top stacks a
Gold leader, gold
leader.
one.
Now that is one thing we haven't mentioned. In the last time we saw this match, Eric opening handed a Luke, and he just went bunch of dudes to the beach with Luke, which kept
Kept the
Fred
zero
on the
side.
front side the whole time. But if Hayes cannot find one of his 2 Luke Skywalker Vs to flip Fred back, Fred's going to be pinging with the objective and
As
getting
well
to look at
as-
his force pile all game,
Yeah.
looking to look.
Okay, so now it goes IG-88 with Riot Gun to Ezra's site. But that still doesn't...
And asked if he has a response.
That still doesn't give him any occupation of that site, though.
It doesn't, but IG-88 may initiate
He
battle.
can still initiate battle, right?
Right,
Yeah.
so he can't play Emperor right here, but IG could initiate battle.
And he adds Destiny when alone or with a bounty hunter.
Yeah, and so alone he would draw Destiny. Ezra has no
Here's a
immunity.
barrier from...
Yeah. Now, the question is, do you risk a sense with Shizor being ability 3 and try and draw 1 or 2?
Oh, yeah, that's right,
Because
yeah.
if you miss, sense is a lost interrupt because do or do not is out. You probably don't...
Maybe
he
save
will
this...
grab it, though,
He does grab the barrier.
but he does not sense it. Save those senses for when the Emperor is out.
Right.
Of course, It's a Trap is immune, and with barrier grabbed, I don't know that there's a lot of other interrupts that you would sense.
That's fair.
But he can sense the reacting troopers.
Yeah, the troopers are big.
Yeah.
And there might be some other random interrupts like Jedi Levitation or Rebel Leadership, that kind of stuff that you might want to be able to sense later on.
Yep. I will tell you there's something interesting about Hayes' build is that even though it plays a bunch of reacting troopers, I'm pretty sure it has no entrenchment to cancel drains.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people think is weird, but if no idea's in a drain race, you're probably winning anyway. You're probably so wide you're okay, and so
Yeah.
it ended up hitting the cutting room floor. But
Yeah, one of
I
my
go back and
Colorado
forth on that.
teammates played no idea in the main event, and we basically talked him into cutting all the entrenchment stuff because it was just like, you have to find it. It's like back with the, if you had a way to get it out quicker or
Yeah.
start it or something, it'd be a lot
Yeah.
more efficient. But
A lot of times you've already reacted with multiple dudes; they're dead by the time you find
yeah,
it.
it doesn't
But
seem
even
as
if
good.
even if you have it out, if Dark's draining you and you're draining Dark, you probably are wider and doing more damage.
Correct.
So he plays Dark Time to activate 1, and he finishes drawing and he recirculates, and now it's Hayes' turn.
So B-Fred just went with the IG-88 against...
So Fred did pull Coward so that he isn't going to get drained.
Yeah.
Now Hayes has to be worried a little bit about Fett coming down against Ezra and just having a big beatdown.
Yeah.
So he relocates the plans so that he can ping, but of course Decree is out, so it's only a ping of 1 right now.
Yep, ping 1. And then the coward will cancel the drain at the square.
So Beefred top sticks. Was that a Force Lightning?
Tarkin's Bounty, maybe?
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Kind of hard to tell what that one is. With all the writing over the image.
Yeah. Hayes is checking his reserve. I'm
For
guessing.
docking bay.
Yeah, I'm guessing if he can support it, he's gonna set up space. Otherwise, most likely he'll pull Saw to the beach and move Chirrut over. He's also, I'm sure, counting how many Lukes are in his reserve deck.
Right. And then probably move Ezra over, or do you keep Ezra there?
That's interesting. Her being there blocking the Emperor is nice. I think it probably depends. Does he have It's a Trap? Does he have
Right.
reacting troopers?
Depends on what he's got. He pulls the docking
Right.
bay. We need to make a Ezra Bridger AI where he doesn't have a helmet on so that you can stop calling
Yeah.
him a girl.
Oh, did I do that
You
again?
just did.
Oh,
We need to get you to watch Rebels, then you'll remember Ezra.
yeah, I guess so. I guess it just sounds like Esther to me or something like that.
Oh, I understand, yeah. And if he didn't watch the show and he's got a helmet on, like, there's not a lot of.
Yeah.
But I mean, if Ezra was a female, then you could use the female interrupt with him, like, or
Oh, yeah.
I can handle myself or whatever it's called.
All right, so he does play Saw from reserve.
Saw.
That will flip him temporarily. I think he's going to move and consolidate and flip back.
Yeah, unless he goes to space, it'll.
Right, but then I think he would have pulled a ship first
Mhm.
and then pulled Saw. Or pulled the ship, flipped, and then pulled Saw. Because you can pull Saw when you're flipped. You can't pull the ship when you're
Right,
flipped.
right. That's a good point.
I think he's going to... It's a little too early to be that wide.
That's fair. You don't want to set yourself up for like a Zuckuss and Miss Hunter situation or
Yeah.
anything crazy like that. Go to space when you have the right fleet to do it with. And also, like you said, trying to find Luke has got to be on Hayes' radar as well.
Right. So phase 3 for Saw. The other thing he's counting is probably looking for Ray, because if he can draw into her, she can
Then
get him Luke.
Get the
most
Luke
likely on
or
his
whatever other
subsequent
answer
turn.
he was looking
Yeah.
for, a ship or.
Yeah, I think Luke is what you have to be digging for, because that Black Sun being flipped is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Hayes flips back as he consolidates. He does move Ezra,
Looks like it.
which is a good call. I think stopping the Emperor is nice, but any dude coming down
Taken
there,
back. Oh, there he
I
goes.
think you should move him.
Yeah, he moves.
Either way. Of course, now Ezra's only going to activate in 1 instead of 2,
That's true.
but it's still...
It's better than nothing.
And it's not threatening to drain either way because of Coward.
Yep.
Beefred peeks at his force pile. So, very standard setup, I'd say. Going decently for Hayes in terms of getting some guys on table. Going decently for Beefred in terms of getting his free Twix and
The Vigo and opening hand was nice to get that all started.
and being flipped.
Yep.
So Beefred really wants to find space and establish that, and Hayes really wants to find a Luke and
Yep.
flip him back.
Yep. Sounds about right to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Fred can get just the Falling's Fist or Zuckuss Miss Hunter with
So
a couple
he
pilots up
Pings
there.
one with the objective, and a reacting trooper goes off the top.
Okay.
Fred puts down a card from hand to peek at his force pile. Fred's looking for emperors and ships so that he can get down emperor and ship, start draining free, start shadows pinging.
Yep. Get that engine running.
Yeah, IG being over on Coruscant is good for Hayes because IG can be a pain if he's over. If he gets over to Scarif,
Yeah,
before
start
Hayes is
capturing
flipped and
dudes.
can cancel his destiny. If he can capture the dude with the Stardust, and
Yeah.
then forfeit someone else and just run IG to the vault and just sit there with the captured Stardust. That
Yeah,
saves him a ping of 1
that's
per
pretty.
turn every
Yeah,
turn.
that can be pretty tough for
Um,
no idea to deal with for
yeah,
sure.
it's annoying. So having IG over on Coruscant has got to be a
Gotta be nice for Hayes.
yeah. So Fred deploys
There's
Zuckuss to
Zactus over to
Scarif, and
Scarif.
we did see that same play last time. It can be kind of hard for Light to get enough ability in space, especially because
They want to put Luke on the ground.
you want Luke on the ground to flip Black Sun back, and then Corrin on the ground is good for you 3PO.
Mm-hmm.
So we do know Beefred played it Never Yarnal. We saw that in a
Mm-hmm.
previous game,
Yep.
so that can kill any of these spies at some point and help create a blowout.
Right.
So Beefred draws a bunch because he knew what his force pile was. He knew what he wanted to get down to certain cards, so he just drew all those and then went ahead and activated one with Wipe.
Yep.
Hayes pings one with Stardust.
He could pay 3 to drain for 2, which he might do.
Yeah, he probably has better use for that force this turn.
Yeah.
I think. So Fred top decks a Boba Fett Bounty Hunter,
Okay.
which,
Probably at least 2 in this agent's build.
yeah, and he can always sewer it back
Yep.
once the sewer comes out. Hayes checks for docking bay. There's no docking bay, but really there's
Luke.
a Luke.
There's at least 1 Luke. Let's see if I see another one. No,
I
okay, so
did
there's
not.
probably 1 Luke activated. It's giving us a nice view there.
Yeah, he's showing Beefred.
We're Doomed is in there.
Yeah, he probably didn't want to show Beefred that because Doomed can be really big against Black
Does he run
Sun
a
when they're
3PO or an R2D2?
He has an R2 and Red 5.
Ah, okay.
Um,
Because, yeah, that's really where Doomed gets a lot when
Yeah,
when you
oh,
round
yeah.
down.
Yeah, right. Makes all the ones pings zeros.
Yeah.
Um, and I think Beefred had already seen that against Eric. We were talking about that as a potential option, and
Yeah,
that's
even
why you
Taco
would
Bell
grab
ran that in
Voyeur.
his
We were talking
TRM
about
today.
grabbing Voyeur so they couldn't Voyeur lost it dead and stuff.
Is that strictly a match play situation with We're Doomed, or
Think
would you
so,
ever play
yeah.
that in a Swiss,
Uh,
in this
I
kind of a deck?
probably wouldn't, but yeah. So he barriers the Tantive. Probably Hope came down and then Tantive, and he buried the Tantive.
Makes sense. Yeah, you're not too afraid of the Bright Hope until you see the next Capital Starship come out.
He just counts and force pile and decides he does not want to grab it. Also, you may want to grab Voyeur or
Dark Time to prevent Cassian.
yeah, maybe, though that's a lot worse for throne room than
Right, yeah.
idea. Yeah, he needs to find that Luke.
Yeah, definitely.
That ping's gonna start to add up. Pays 1 for Bodhi, maybe.
Yep.
Yep, Bodhi on Bright Hope. Interestingly, on Bright Hope indicates he may still be planning to battle.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say.
3 for Wedge.
Yeah, Big Dick Wedge.
Does Wedge always work with Bodhi? I know he always works with Corrin, and he works with anyone on Rogue One, but Bodhi might also be a Rogue
Bodhi
Squadron pilot.
says adds 3 to Rogue One, so
Okay.
I think that would make him a Rogue Squadron pilot.
Yeah, I think he does always, so he'll cancel Zuckuss' Destiny, and Wedge gets 1 if unable to otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Bastion taught us that in an earlier game.
Right, but I mean, does if it's otherwise, Zuckuss would still reset it to
yeah,
0,
yeah,
right?
You are correct. Thank you. That was against Harpster's shut down the main reactor.
Yeah, you go.
That it was relevant. But he's power 6 to Zuckuss' 4. And did he play weapons display to make him lose 1? No, he did not.
I think he might be busted, right?
Yeah, he has Battle Plan, Goldenrod, Do or Do Not, and
Yeah.
Crowd Route.
So
he draws a 1, which Zuckuss reduces to 0. So he's power 6 to 4. So Fred's going to have to peel 2. He top decks Greedo,
looks like they're counting up power.
Yeah, Bodhi adds
Only adds
2
2. He adds 3 to
and
the Rogue
3 to the
One.
Rogue One.
Or a stolen
But that
starship.
that still should be
So it's 5.
Wedge is 3, Bright Hope's 1, Bodhi's 2. Oh, so he goes ahead and loses Zuckuss. And Hayes flips.
Yeah, Brian, if you barrier's Wedge, then the Tantive can still battle. And I think that's probably still bad for...
I agree that he could have buried Wedge if he had a second barrier. I think burying the Chantive was the correct play at the time because you're not anticipating him battling again. Um, but but Wedge being able to cancel Dark's Destiny is just a big.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, that was good for Hayes. Now he's establishing space, and
It's
Brian Fred
flipped.
is not. Fred, of course, will now look to go to Coruscant now that Hayes is fully committed there.
And yeah, no, really, I guess some starships might be able to make it from 0 to 7, but they might need
Not any of these
R2.
ships, yeah. So what's left is like
Hyper
Profundity,
Escape, or what is that?
Profundity, Air 5,
Mhm.
and Rogue One are left. So Brian Fred will pretty easily be able to establish a space position down at Coruscant.
Mhm.
Brian Fred just has a huge hand, and
He does have quite a lot of
Did I
cards.
always thinking with your stomach in there?
I think there might have been.
Because if he
Could be
hits
pretty
that
good
and
against.
chooses the dude who's holding the dust,
Because is it random when you do? When
no,
there's
you
no-
choose.
You get to
The
choose.
dark side player chooses.
Okay.
So if Hayes, and Hayes is shield busted, so
For me, I thought that always thinking was random.
I don't know. I'll have to search party and choose
Yeah.
one of those players.
Choose one. Yeah, you're right. Because then you go make the Stardust go missing, and then you got to do a search party. But at least a lot of these characters are scouts, so they help when you're doing a search party.
Yeah.
We'll see if that comes into play.
Fred pays 4 Ellison Hinthra maybe.
P59 against
P59
Ezra.
comes down to Ezra. But he's flipped, so Ezra's a defense value 6 right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Ezra will be cleared from attrition.
That's just attrition, yeah.
Yeah, but it's kind of a waste of P59. When any dude who draws Destiny, Cad Bane or Jasper, anyone could clear it out.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like P59's 2 damage is pretty good. Okay, so he does play the
Ellison Hinthra.
Hinthra.
P59 does have some small immunity, like less than 4.
That's true.
No idea, not known for drawing high destinies, so
And
P59 could still.
He plays a character up
He
there.
had, he had Banis Keeg to start in his
Okay,
hand.
if it was
Maybe-
Banis Keeg, he'd want to draw one from reserve,
maybe
which I
I'm
didn't
not-
see him do that.
Could be a different pilot.
I can't tell. I think it's Banis Keeg though. Maybe he just forgot to draw. It is a May.
The Banis Keeg pilot instructor has a longer title than I feel like that card
Oh
has.
yeah, it says pilot instructor after. Oh, Luke went off the top to the ping from the Black Sun objective this turn.
And
That
you,
was the
you
one
know
in
that
reserve.
Hayes has more than one Luke.
Hayes has 2.
Hayes has 2.
Yeah, but that's big.
Yeah.
He didn't pop Walkling for it.
Yeah, losing that Luke. Luke is definitely a big card for this AOBS matchup.
Yeah. For as bad as Eric's hand was last turn, at least
Mhm.
the one character last game,
Yeah.
last match, the one character was Luke, and
Yeah.
that's a big deal.
Makes a big difference. So we're probably going to battle here with P59. And with a bunch of Emperors in the deck, you can hit Ezra with P59 decently well, but
No, she's a 6, and that would be a 6, and then he'd have to cancel using the flipped objective.
you'd have to cancel, yeah.
Brian Fred scratches at his sleeves. He sees a speck of dust.
So I still think B-Fred is deciding whether or not he wants to initiate battle against Ezra.
I don't know why you don't.
Yeah, I don't think you make that play without battling, so... But they're
Right.
counting Force icons?
Yeah, he's probably going, how much force do you get next turn?
Yeah.
'Cause he's like, if he has to leave one of these dudes alone. He doesn't want to get overflowed. Oh, so he puts down a card to peek. He
And
just
then
draws.
draws. No battle. Interesting. Interesting.
So here's the other way you can flip back Black Sun without playing Luke on table. Kill Shizor.
Okay.
So maybe he control phase moves over Ezra. Um, so he drains, he chops X Gick, sense. He does Stardust damage. So it must not have been an always thinking.
Well,
Otherwise he
Stardust
played.
damage for 1.
Oh, he can't always thinking because when he's flipped with his objective, you can't cancel their drains at Battlegrounds.
Ah.
So he cannot always thinking the Stardust.
Okay. Then I probably would have just lost.
Come on, chat. You should have been on that.
If that was in his hand, I probably would have just lost that card then.
Yeah, well, he could do it on Coruscant.
Okay. Oh, okay.
At the Coruscant non-battlegrounds.
Right.
It only stops him from canceling trains at battlegrounds. So it
Okay.
could protect your
Could be
Emperor site or
useful
city.
later.
Yeah,
And also, it's a Destiny 4, so you can always just put it back with the OBS and have it float.
sure. But that's why he didn't. If that is the card we saw, that's why he couldn't.
Right, yeah, if you
couldn't
can't
use it
cancel
once he was
drains on
flipped.
Scarif, then
Yep.
always thinking with our heads.
Oh, he did control phase moves Ezra, like I predicted.
Yep.
So he doesn't have the Luke, and he's like, I'm just gonna come over.
And kill
Of course,
Shizor.
Of course, he's still got to get through Shizor's bounty, and possibly another barrier, because there's 2 force saved, and he didn't grab the first barrier. So, I think what you want to do is drop an ability. Well, and that's a V Vigo, so it only forfeits for 4. The non-V forfeits for 6. But if you can get Baze, obviously, where you can shoot,
Baze
that's
would be big, yeah.
Or Utani. Of course, he's probably saving his Shizor's bounty for someone like that.
Right.
Oh, there's a Rebel
Rebel
Trooper for
Trooper.
1. You start with them, obviously, because they're cheaper when they have more characters than you.
Yep.
So now Hayes is going to go for some overflow, or at least beat up on it enough
At
to
least get rid of Shizor.
kill Shizor and flip him back. Sewer can get him back at some point, but he'd have to be at 3 battlegrounds, and right now if he clears him off this, he'll only be at the system.
Yep. What's going on in there?
An old Brian Harold.
I remember that.
potion.
Yeah, I remember that. I was at that MPC when he was playing that deck against Kevin Shannon.
Oh, he plays Cold Feet to pull
play
Death Star
defense.
Sentry,
Okay.
so that extra reaction
shield.
troopers cost more.
Palpatine. Oh.
Yeah, I don't think he's found Palpatine yet. I mean, he knew what was in his force. I think last turn he did have Palpatine, but he didn't. He wanted to. I don't know why he deployed in front of Ezra. I guess he didn't want to eat the drain at 2, but
Jyn Erso also comes.
he wanted to establish in space, so that took half his. That took 7 force establishing in space, and then I guess he wanted to block that drain, so he didn't.
Ah, there's the
P59.
commando team. So yeah, lots
Commando.
of power.
Interestingly,
No Shizor's
bounty on that.
Maybe.
There
it
we
comes.
go. Okay. I think he was saving it for someone more impactful than Jin, someone like a Baze, a Utani, or a
Commando team.
So I think he would have to have Palp by now. The one turn he peaked his force and drew like 6 cards.
Yeah, he should have a Palp, but like you said, you just didn't deploy him last turn.
But I think he didn't deploy him because
He wanted to go with the P59 and the space play.
and he didn't. He was worried about just Palp alone, so he didn't want to just.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now Ray comes out and he used Palp pulls.
So maybe you can find the other Luke that way.
Yeah. Or a Utani or some. I don't know how. It still looks like he's got at least
Decent
4
amount of
force
force, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hayes still shield busted. Can't play the weapons display to ping for another force if he battles here, or when he battles here.
Yeah. And Ray will add 1 to the total, which makes it easier to crack the Vigo's forfeit 4.
Yeah.
But probably come down to power. I mean,
Because, yeah, he's got the trooper reinforcements, Jyn Erso, Ray, and Ezra. So, Ezra gets power +2 for the dark side icons there.
oh really? No,
Doesn't
no,
he?
no.
Oh.
Ezra,
That's the
plus
dark
1 for each
Jedi.
Jedi or
Right.
dark Jedi on table.
Right, okay.
Yeah, you're thinking of Jasper.
Yeah, I had his
His text.
dark side
moved over.
icons.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see who Ray grabbed.
Didn't get to see that, but I was guessing it was going to be a Luke, but you never know. Vigo is forfeit 6. It's the
It's 4. It's a V because he used it to pull the
Yeah, it's the
sights.
V Vigo. Yeah, just Chris Kelly said Vigo is 6. I was like, I think it's the
Is
4.
oh is the V one also 6? Oh, maybe with Shizor, but not another Vigo, and the other one is with Shizor and a Vigo or something. I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember. One of them. Yeah, with Shizor, he's forfeit +2 and no spies, whereas the other one is with Shizor and another Vigo. So,
Okay.
okay, so he is a 6. He is going to be harder to crack. Oh, he drops Cassian, so he can cancel the Battle Destiny in case. Because if he draws an Emperor,
That could go bad, yeah.
Destiny 6, then, and he's forfeiting the Vigo for 6, he can cover a lot of damage. So he's like, let me just cancel your drain, or cancel your Destiny. Now we'll see if Bfred has a Dark Time to play mid-battle to stop Cassian.
Ah. I think he did have one in his opening hand, but
He played it at one point to activate one.
that's true.
I just don't know
Yeah.
if he has another, so. Oh, you want a picture behind this banner?
Oh,
Okay.
right. Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
just move forward.
Yeah. He should. Yeah, here. Okay.
Something like that.
All right. So let's see. Oh, barrier just was. Oh, that must have been drawn for Destiny. Hayes drew a 1. Thanks, Gornall, for catching while we're trying to do other logistics. So I think he's deciding if he wants to Cassian cancel. Did he? He lost the reacting trooper at some point, so he can place him out of play. So I was like, you don't want to have Luke as your only option there.
Yeah, there's
Go
other
use
characters
Cassian
in there, yeah.
Yeah. So he's counting power. I think he's deciding if he's going to cancel that with Cassian if it's worth. Nice meeting you. Nice run. Congrats.
Hey, no problem, man. Good to see you. See you at the next one, right?
That's doubly there. Got top 4. Just taking off. Had a
It's
great
his
run
first
this weekend.
major.
His first major ever. Made the top 4 last year here at the Endor Grand Prix. Ryan Searson, his first major. He made the top 8.
Yep.
So if you are a new player who's never been to a major, come out to Endor
Endor's
next
the
year.
one to punch your
that's
ticket.
the one where you make top 8. Good cherry popping. All right, so they're still deciding, counting, thinking, shenaniganing.
He hasn't battled there yet?
He battled.
Okay.
They drew.
Okay.
Hayes drew a 1. Shizor drew a 4. And it looks like he did place a trooper out of play to cancel.
Yep.
And he lost a Vigo and peeled 1. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer.
So didn't get Shizor?
So,
didn't
maybe he didn't cancel. No, because he placed a dude out of play to move Ezra. That's
Yeah.
why that dude's out of play over on the side of the screen. He went ahead and decided to lose Jin so he could peek at the hand. So there's a limited resources.
There is an Emperor.
Sense, Emperor, a Git combo, another sense.
Voyeur.
Voyeur, a U3PO. So there was no always thinking. That was just
Yeah, it was something else.
saw
It
something else.
might have been the Voyeur, maybe.
Or the limited, yeah. Some of the cards are hard to tell with writing on them.
Yeah.
Knowing that Gick there's big though, so Hayes doesn't go all in on something. But I think he still wants to beat up on that Shizor, so he'll probably be using the control phase move next turn to move over the power 8 dude, or the Cassian, which he hasn't used yet.
Yep.
Which I disagree with Cassian because not using Cassian. Oh, maybe because Luke was the only other character because he used that
He used
non-unique
the other
trooper
one. You might be right
to
about
move.
that, actually.
Luke
Yeah.
was the only
So,
character.
yeah,
so
there
he
was
didn't
that
use
one. But I don't
Cassian.
know. I don't know if I could.
Because
Think of any
otherwise,
other
he would have
characters.
peeled 4 more and not lost a dude, not
Yeah.
lost Jin there.
Yeah.
Which obviously you want to make him peel more cards,
Of course.
or lose to Shizor.
Yeah.
So
That's the
he
Voyeur.
grabs Voyeur. Yeah, it must have been Luke was the only one left after he put the non-unique one out of play to move Ezra.
So Luke isn't
Oh, there's a
used.
bottom. Yeah, so both Lukes are.
Nope. Yeah. So did he play it used or lost?
He
Or, oh,
declared Hujix
he
and he
named
played it.
Hujix. Yep.
Yeah, so first he named Hujix and then he decided to play it lost once it was grabbed anyway. Might as well make him lose that one instead of anyone.
Yep. So I mean, but then you can.
Hujix was the one he drew for Battle Destiny, so he knew there was
Okay.
one in there
Right.
and
So he
possibly
knew
a
it.
second. Yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, now it's in the lost pile, so you can try to find solo maybe to play it if
Yeah.
they play solo in this version. I'm guessing.
Yep. Yeah. So now B Fred is gonna drain one for free. He's gonna play the Emperor, which will let him Shadow Ping one free. He'll move Shizor away, um, and probably try and establish some other position.
Yep.
So that didn't go terribly for Brian Fred. For all the stuff that Hayes put out there, the big pile of dudes, Cassian and Commander
And
and
use the
Ray and all
control
that,
phase
and use the
movement and
control phase
everything.
all of that, he lost to Vigo in one. That's
Yeah, that's not too bad for
that's
B Fred.
and Jin died. So
Yeah.
like that was a pretty good trade for B Fred. So they decide what to do on Ezra, and it looks like B Fred activates two less, which he's activating plenty.
Yeah, at this point.
Yeah, Ezra only has a very narrow window where he is
He
good.
is good.
Because after that, especially late game when it's like, all right, I can activate up to 18, and my entire
like,
reserve
oh.
deck is only 18. You're like, all
Yeah,
right,
well,
yeah,
I was going to
two
activate
less, I don't
16
care.
anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can activate more than what's left. You don't care about it being -2.
This is an It's a Trap to the ping damage.
We did see a U3PO that will probably come down to the beach.
The beach, yep.
To stop that drain of 2. I think there was a Probot too that might go over to the war room and start draining. So B Fred might go wide here
Yep.
at the same time that Hayes is going wide, and see who can out damage. They're both in space. Stardust is pinging 1, Objective's pinging 1, soon Shadows is going to ping 1. I think Emperor's going to come down to the uplink station, and Shizor will move over to join him.
Seems reasonable.
P59's a little vulnerable with the control phase move, but he does have the
He does
Geek
have
in
the
hand.
Gick, yeah. And you can move IG88 over to hang out with P59.
That's a good point.
And then eventually, maybe move him either up to the ship or somewhere else. I guess that might even be easier to shuttle him up. Like, he doesn't have the capital. It's just the starfighter, so you can't do that. It's game 1 of the finals here, Endor Grand Prix. Got this one and then one more match to determine, or one more game to determine this match, and we will have our champion. Thanks for sticking with us throughout almost 7 hours of live coverage today.
Ooh.
Thanks to Brian Mischke, Joe Olson for joining me today. Definitely made my life a little easier after doing the marathon yesterday. Yeah, B Fred is a good guy.
Bane Slater sends a shout out to B Fred. Says hi.
Is that a Ron Fong sighting? Yes, I think it is. Craig Shaw. B Fred was the inaugural winner of the Endor Grand Prix, if I remember correctly. The first one that they did here.
Yeah.
So, see if he can get back.
Become repeat champion.
Repeat champ, the first repeat champ.
Fett
Alright.
comes down to the beach
Okay.
for 5.
We were thinking U3PO there, so maybe he's actually planning on doing some battling.
Yeah, he wants to be aggressive.
He's gonna pay 1.
To barrier.
But we already have barriers stacked.
Oh, yep.
So,
And Fred points that out and says barriers grabbed. That costs more
so
force.
that'll cost 2, which
And
Hayes doesn't have.
yeah, well, 3 total. 1 for the barrier.
Yeah, I
2 to
guess
stack,
2
yeah.
to stack, and then. So yeah, no barrier.
So Hayes goes, whoops, forgot that. He shadow or sewers because he's at 3 battlegrounds to retrieve uh, Django into hand, and then pays 4 for Django Fett. So now he's getting 3 Destiny, because there's no Jedi.
There's U3PO.
U3PO comes over to Coruscant.
So yeah, because he is planning on vacating that site, so that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah, right, if you're going to attack one and stop the drain on the other.
He's got the Mandalorian father and son combo.
So
Django and
that
Boba Fett.
should be enough. Yeah, Reacting Trooper costs too much. There's no It's a Trap. He only has 1 force saved. So, Chirrut, he's going to peek at the top of Beefred's reserve. Chirrut's a sneaky one where if Hayes had 2 force here, he could Chirrut peek at his own, move it to the top, and then
Right.
play It's a Trap
Right.
for its 3rd force.
That would be pretty fun.
Or react with the reacting dude for 3 force. But he does not have any of that, so he does peek at his own.
See if he puts it on force. Looks like he's what he's
Does
gonna
put
do.
it on the force pile. But I think both Hayes guys are going to be cleared here, and he's going to.
He's gonna draw 3 Battle Destiny.
Yep.
Brian Fred is.
Yep.
So
Saw's going to add 2 to the attrition. 1 plus 1 for each character. So each of Hayes guys is power +2, +1 from the beach text, and +1 from the flipped objective,
Yep.
being with the dust. But the interesting thing here is Fred's 3 Destiny should clear both guys, which relocates the dust, and he flips back. Dark Time gets drawn for the first Destiny. Then
Cad Bane.
Cad Bane is a 2. Then Skyhook's a 2. That's 8, which should clear everyone. They're a 6 and a 5, I think.
Yeah, I don't think anybody covers for 8 there.
He draws a trooper, so he pays 1 to retrieve because he drew a spy. Retrieves with 100 men. CRG points out Beefred gets an attrition boost from the flipped objective.
Yeah, so he's definitely
So-
gonna clear there.
He clears everything, and Hayes draws a 3 that's +2 attrition from Saw. So it's a
He'll have
5.
to lose Django.
So he can, yeah, he'll lose. And the question is, do you
I
leave
guess-
Fett there,
Yeah, that's
or
true.
do you send him?
You could do the
send him used with the
maintenance thing, yeah.
Lose 2 so that he doesn't get beat down. Looks like he has. Oh, he's checking his reserve for some reason. Oh, Fett. Django uploads Fett when he's lost, so
he
he was
was
checking
trying to
his
do
reserve.
that. Yeah. But he already top decked the other copy
And,
of that. I'm pretty
and
sure.
meanwhile, Chirrut dies, and he uploads base. So they both upload a dude when they die.
That's cool.
Hayes found his. Chirrut didn't. But the other interesting thing I was going to say is by clearing both these out and flipping him back, he can't control phase move over a dude to P59 or Shizor.
Ah, that is true.
Yeah, so interestingly, Fett's, or not Fett, but
So he
yeah.
loses Fett.
he
He's
says
not
you only
gonna-
have 5 attrition. You can't lose both of them.
Yeah.
Fred goes, okay.
So we'll see if Beefred does the maintenance to send him used, or if
Yeah. So he can't control phase move over to attack. Interestingly, this whole time he still has not played Emperor.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's sort of a lot better use of force, is that Fett Django to clear off both those dudes and flip them back.
get the Stardust out of there.
And U3PO to stop that drain. Yeah, but no
Eventually,
Emperor.
Emperor's gonna have to come out to
Yeah.
start doing those pings, and
Cornall says that Baze can solo kill
that was his
Shizor.
play he was talking about earlier, where you shoot, don't draw, and then when he goes lost, you shoot again. Hope to kill him that way. He is only defense value 3, so it's
Yep. I mean, Beefred could theoretically have a ceasefire. That would be rough. Oh, he does pay 2 for the maintenance.
all right.
And then he wipes, activates 1. If he has a barrier, that would be big for Baze. And Hayes did not grab that the first time because he
Nope.
wanted to grab Voyeur. Interestingly, Beefred leaving Fett is a good play because it splits Hayes' attention.
Yep.
It means Hayes can't. If he goes after Fett, Shizor's safe.
Yeah.
Right, and he doesn't have the resources to do both right here. Unless he has like a Corrin, which you kind of want for U3PO, but unless he has someone who draws Destiny on their own versus Fett, and you can just drop a cheap draws
Yes.
Destiny
Someone
guy,
like Leia
and
or
then send base.
Ezra or
Yeah,
something.
well, Ezra's already
Yeah,
out,
that's
but
right.
like Leia would be perfect to
Yeah.
just go kill Fett. Um,
Is this a rescue in the clouds that he's doing? Or
no, I think he
that's a
was.
reserve deck verify.
Yeah, he was looking for a docking bay just to
Okay.
see what was in there,
Saw Vanden Willard and a couple other
and
cards.
it's a trap.
It's a trap.
Something else. He was trying to check what are my chances of shooting Shizor here. The It's a Trap would hit, the Van Willard wouldn't, and I missed the third
Yeah,
card.
I didn't see what the other one was. I feel like it was a red card, so could be a good chance.
Alright, so he
Pays
phase
one for
one.
the trooper.
Did he do control phase damage? Like, did he drain one in space?
I don't think he did.
What's the top card there? Cold Feet? I think he must
That
have,
might have been
because
that
that
one.
would have Django would be top otherwise.
Okay, yeah, you're right. But then the other one
Oh,
was you
Reinforcements
3PO'd.
was the other one, which is a Destiny 3. That also. So
Okay.
he drops that dude for one. He drops Melshi there to pick up the plans and flip. He drops 3 bays. Alright, so he's ignoring Shizor. Which base is not going to be able to hit Vet with those
Within the destinies that we saw.
However, and Vet will be immune, right? But he'll be power like 10 to 7, so we'll make him peel 3 and then move over. Oh no, 11, 12 because the beach tech. So
Yeah.
he'll be like 12 to 7. He'll
He'll
make
have
him
to
kill
lose.
Fett and move
Yeah.
over the other dude. He just didn't want Fett still sitting there, and
Being able to just then you put
you
another
put another
bounty hunter,
with it,
and all
you
of a sudden
clear
it's
out
3
another bunch of
destiny.
dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
But
just go with.
it's still a little questionable about that. Shizor having Fred flipped all game is just so rough. But I think he's gonna start moving that stack of guys in front, and if he's not taking a ton of damage, he's taking a ping from the objective, a ping from the system drain.
Yeah.
So he draws a spy, he retrieves with 100 men. Yeah, imbalance combo
Makes him lose a
one.
force.
So he loses relatively unprotected from hand. And he's power. Base is a base 4, right?
Yes.
So 4, 7, 2 from the beach is 9, and 2 from the destiny is 11 versus 7, so it's Fet or 4.
Yeah.
If he has another bounty hunter, he might just peel 4.
That's
that
right
way
about
he
the
can-
line where you think about it. Yeah, like you said, if he has another, I'm trying to think of who else would be. IG88's already on the table. You want someone?
Dengar.
You want someone with ability
Greedo
like
got top decked, I
Dengar.
believe.
Yeah, Greedo did get top decked. Maybe
he's thinking
Cad
about popping
Bane.
Decree. Didn't he already draw Destiny? I think. Didn't Hayes? Oh, maybe he took a shot.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
that was the shot, Destiny.
So he's thinking about popping Decree. He does. It goes out of play, not lost pile.
So that's gonna impact the Stardust damage, though.
Yeah, Stardust will start pinging too.
Draws Bosk for Battle Destiny. That's not good.
I didn't even say anything about Decree. Our active judge, Brian Mishke, was on it. I
Yeah.
opened the door and he was already there at the lost pile. Like, all right. So, yeah, that Destiny. I think he wanted to thin it out, but yeah, Decree not reducing Stardust damage now will be interesting. If he'll want to try and clear that out and reset the Stardust damage again, but when he's flipped, all right, so he's moving some dudes.
Moving Ezra, moving
I
Cassian.
feel like you need to. Oh, Cassian's a great one. I feel like you need to move the Commando because he's just such
so
raw
power,
but
so much power.
Cornell says Beef Fred's hands are very animated now. All right, he moves you 3PO. Because I think Cassian is a dude he doesn't want to mess with. Hayes relocates Stardust over to Baze. Baze has slightly higher defense value.
Yep.
He's a 5 instead of a 4. So, and Hayes has plenty of force saved right now. He's going to draw a few, but he'll probably keep keep some force as well for reacting dudes, and it's the traps. And
I wonder if he's
we know
found
he has
that
a
Luke
barrier,
yet.
which
Yeah.
costs 3, so he
Yeah.
probably should be saving a little more than he is. He's only saving,
Barrier costs the same amount as it's a trap.
yeah. And barrier can be sensed once that Emperor comes out.
Yep. But you got to think this has got to be the turn for that.
Right. Yeah, so Fred will drain 1, ping 1 with the objective, and then Emperor will come out and he'll ping 1 with shadows.
Yeah, just put the Emperor to the sewer. Move Shizor over.
Oh yeah, Baze is defense 6 because I forgot he has armor 4. I was thinking just his ability 3. Oh no, Garnoth says he's a 7. How am I missing? Does he have armor 5 and then +2 from the flipped objective? That's probably what it is. All right, he loses a keep your eyes open to either the drain or objective ping.
Yeah, he's armor 5.
Armor 5. Okay. This is a good match. This is a good chess match here. I love seeing high-level Star Wars cards being played. And,
Yeah.
these players are very tactical. It's fun seeing Fred's move to, like, he hasn't played the Emperor for so many turns, but it's totally made sense what he's doing. Where he had to go to space.
Yeah,
and
he's
then he
doing.
Had to,
he's not making bad
He wanted
plays.
to clear the beach. He's making great plays.
Yeah.
It's just they when you are when you have limited resources, what do you do with them?
Yep.
It's fun seeing that. Hayes
There's the
Hayes
Emperor.
not using Baze to attack Shizor, so on there he shadows pings. Hayes is gonna lose 1. It looks like he chose to lose the barrier. He decided it's just too
It's not worth
expensive
it to
and
play
it's not
that.
immune to sense.
Well, and now,
No, the keep
Fred
your eyes
also
open.
knows that he has it because he tried to play it when he
Right.
couldn't. So, a little less
So he
surprising these
decided to just
days.
get rid of it. Alright, so now Fred's at his 3 battlegrounds that he wants for shadows. He's got a Titan system. He's going to want to start trying to put on more damage in battle. I think he's going to move in Shizor with Emperor.
Yep.
But he almost needs to do something else too, because right now Hayes is going to drain 2 at the beach, 2 at the Coruscant site U-3PO's not at, do 2 Stardust damage, and 1 at the system is 7.
That's 7, yep.
That's a lot.
See if he can maybe disrupt the plans, the Stardust again.
Yeah, I'm not sure Poppin' Decree was the right play there. I mean, yeah, he only drew a 1, but even if he drew a 5, he's still only clearing the same 1 dude.
Yeah.
And it meant, I don't think he was peeling, because we were saying, okay, it's going to be like Fett or 4.
Fett or 4.
And Fett was going to die anyway, so he basically traded Decree for 1 less dude at the beach.
Yeah.
And that's an awful trade in my opinion.
Yeah, it didn't go the way Fett.
Unless
Fred
unless
wanted it.
this turn he was going to clear the beach again. Like if his plan this turn was I go clear the beach again, reset the Stardust again, then I could see trading it for that 1 dude, because you go, I won't really need Decree. But since he's not battling at the beach, then I don't know why he popped the Decree. Yeah, Shaw in chat agrees. It only kind of made sense if he was going to be battling here, and since he was playing Emperor.
Looks like there's a lot of red
He's got
cards
a lot
in
of
there.
red in there. I think I only saw 1 character, so that's tough for Fred. Which is Probot, it looks like.
Yeah,
Which is
Probot.
interesting for Fred, because he can peek at his force pile every turn, so he should know where stuff is. But he hasn't been able to strategically draw it with Emperor without shadows out. So
Yeah, that's true.
Gornall says maybe mistracked a High Destiny. He seems surprised by Bosk. That's possible.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that he would have anything tracked, but he might have thought he did. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what he would have played last turn that he could have been tracking around.
Yeah.
Or what destinies he drew.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he'll tell us later.
Yeah. Thanks, Ron. Appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. So we're probably nearly done with this first game. They've been going for just about an hour on this first one, and then we've got 1 more for the finals, and we will crown ourselves an Endor champ.
Yep, sometime in the next hour and a half or so.
Give or take.
All
There's
right, so
Probot.
Probot comes down.
Yeah.
So now an interesting question is if he has Never Yarnal in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Probot to kill Baze.
And
Never
then just
Yarnal
crush Melshi or whatever.
and then battle Melshi and clear Melshi. That's a a good play, and that could be why he popped Decree, is he's got Never Yarnel and Probot. And Never Yarnel doesn't target their ability, so it can't be canceled with the flip side of the
Yeah, it's
objective.
just draw Destiny greater than 2, right?
Yeah, Keith asked if the games are timed. They are. They are an hour and a half in
In the
the top
finals.
8, and the semifinals were both an hour 15, and then the finals are an hour and a half. We've been going for almost an hour now. I think the game started around 3 or 4 minutes of the stream
Yeah, yeah, it was
or
they
the
probably
recording
were
time.
about,
So
are about 55 minutes or so.
yeah, so we got
Uh,
a half hour at most left on this game.
I don't think this one will take a half an hour.
Yeah.
Might take a good 15, 20 minutes, but I don't think it'll take a full extra half hour from here.
Yeah. So yeah, if Probot can never Yarnal Bays
Does a
all the
Haze run
plans,
double agent at all? Do you know?
no,
Okay.
no. So he pays to battle first, and then he pays 3 to react with a trooper. Oh no, three to it's a trap.
Oh, he's canceling it. Yep.
Cancels the battle. Says, which is interesting because he has plenty of forfeit. Like, why not trade one of those dudes for Probot unless he suspects that Never Yarnal is coming mid
Yeah.
battle?
Moves
Ooh, move
Shizor in
Shizor
front
and
of
P59 in front of Ray and Endor
Kendor Commando
Commandos.
team.
And moves IG over one non-battleground. This leaves Emperor alone, and we know Force Lightning went off the top early, so Emperor doesn't have much protection. He pops Walkling to retrieve It's a Trap. And now we're looking at Haze. So he blocked the drain on Coruscant, he blocked the beach drain, so he's going to drain 1 in space and ping 2 Stardust. So he'll do 3. Meanwhile, Beefred will drain 1 in space, 1 at the sewer, ping 2 with objective, and 1 with shadows is 5. So Beefred took the
Because,
edge
yeah,
in
especially
the
with the
damage race
decree going
if
out.
no board state changes.
It's just ice cubes. I'm sorry, guys.
Jerry's got a canteen filled
Yeah,
with
if they've watched Trollo Theater.
ice cubes.
They've seen my bottle.
Jerry like takes a shot, throws down the glass, shatters.
It's 100% professional around here, guys.
Cornell's wondering if he moves Cassian. Yeah, so he could move Cassian in the control phase, which is quite possible. So he pings 2 with Stardust. Beefred loses 2. And drains 1 at the system. So Gornall says prevent P59 from hitting anyone. That's so he pays 1. He moves Castian over, as our brilliant forecasters in the chat predicted.
Way to go, Bob. And we got to get Bob out to a major. He's on Team High Ground, but he hasn't been able to make it out to any of the other ones like Justin and Paul have. So, or Danny.
I think sewer already happened, didn't it? For Django.
Yeah, I
He
believe
got
you're right.
Django back with the sewer. I think Django was top decked at some point, and then so sewer was burned, I believe.
There you go, Bob. Make it soon.
And Cassian came down to come down on
He
Prolot.
moved over from
No, sorry, not Cassian. Kraken.
Kraken.
Kraken
Okay.
came down to the beach
Oh yeah, there you go.
to assist. He's with all scouts and spies.
General Kraken.
Do you mind? Someone asked me if I mind declaring I would go top 8 during Hall of Theater. I feel pretty confident. I think I ended up 9th. I very much.
Yeah, you're right on the bubble.
Yeah, I very much could have won one of my 3 games that I lost. A lot went wrong in each of them. One of them I made a major mistake in my last game, but I was already quite far behind, got a bad start and stuff. I think I I don't feel bad saying I would felt confident making top eight and then barely missing. What I would have swapped decks to is Diplo entanglements. Maybe not entanglements because of no idea being so prominent in the field. I would have gone Diplo and
So
possibly
reacts with
Court,
Greedo.
something else. All right,
So with battle here, we got Leia, Cassian, Trooper, or Commando Team, and Rey. He reacts with Greedo.
just a Josper for P59. That's not going to hit anybody with the flipped objective, making him all +2
Nope.
defense value.
Nope.
Which means if he wants to Cassian on the Destiny, he can.
True.
Um, yeah, actually, coming into the weekend, I was thinking,
Draws a 5. Hayes does, and a 1 from B. Fred, the Bosk. So
so
Hayes is definitely ahead in this battle.
he probably cancels with Cassian just so he doesn't have to lose a character.
Yeah, he's got his lost pile. He's definitely popping
Yeah,
somebody out. Another Rebel Commando guy or Rebel Reinforcement Trooper.
yeah. So coming into this weekend, I was thinking I will play Throne Room Map Day 1, which is what I played Day 1 of Worlds, and I will play Entanglements Diplo Day 2, which is what I played Day 3 of Worlds, and just play the same decks I did because, the meta didn't shift that much. So, um, but I do think with No Idea, everyone realizing No Idea didn't change in the errata or previews, but everyone realizing how good it is,
Yeah.
Entanglements is not great against
People are
that.
just catching up to how good No Idea
Yeah,
is.
yeah. So Fred lost P59 and
Greedo.
Greedo, and it looks like Joss Per maybe he had to peel a little bit
Some
too.
overflow.
Yep, and he's still peeling. He lost a sense there.
Okay. Any idea on life force counts? They look to be in the high teens for both of them. Maybe we could pop in there and grab a life force count at some point.
Yep. Clayton says, Fred tracking that boss like a champ.
All over the place. He needed that
Oh,
earlier.
and he lost to Dark Time there, so he was peeling a lot
Oh
for
wow.
that. He must have peeled
Well, I mean, there
four-ish
was a lot of
plus two
characters there.
dudes.
I
Yeah,
mean, the Commando team are 8
and he
and
wanted to keep Shizor out, so he covered the attrition and peeled
peeled
him out.
cards. Yeah, he is
But the
those.
thing is, if he had to peel 4 to keep Shizor, that's like 2 turns of Black Sun damage essentially. So he draws a 5. Um, and Fred's like, whoops, was I not supposed to draw that yet? Because he drew a spy, so he pays 1 to retrieve it, and Fred draws
This is the battle
Cloud
at the
Force push.
beach.
This is a battle at the beach, so they're all power +2. So Baze is 6. He drew a 3, 9,
Melshi would be a 4.
17, 18, I think, versus like 10. So it's gonna be him and 4. He's saving the
There's
gig
the
for
Gick
that. Yeah.
there.
Yep. Okay. So he goes into a Gick, and probably you lose Melshi. Melshi lets you upload a Trooper when lost, but Hayes has no reserve
No
deck.
reserve deck.
Either one, Melshi or Kraken would
Would have
cover
been
it, but
fine.
Kraken gives
Kraken
you the
gives
extra
you
destiny,
leadership
and that makes it hard for them to attack into Baze and Kraken because you get at least 1 or 2 shots plus,
yeah, 2
plus
shots from
plus
Baze.
2 destiny from Kraken, and all right, and so Hayes recirculates. Brian is gonna drain at the system. He will drain at the site, and he'll ping 2 with the objective, and then he'll also ping 1 with Shadow. So he's going to do 5 this turn.
Yeah.
I'm going to go check. It sounds like Constellation just wrapped up. I'll go check on
Check that
who won
and maybe see if
who
you
got
can get a
second
life
in that.
force proximate from
Sure.
these guys. Oh, yeah. I'm starting to lose my steam today, guys. Thanks for sticking with us. This one I feel like could still go either way. I kind of feel like Hayes will pull it out with those battles that he just kind of caused some overflow, got the Gick out of the way. But you never know what these AOBS decks can pull up with these days. Fred has 13 down plus hand.
What you at, bud?
Oh, you're out of here?
Yeah.
Get to the airport? All right, good to see you, sir. Say hi to your son for me. So is it B Fred with like 13?
Yeah, B Fred has 12 or 13. Hayes has 16.
Okay.
And in the consolation, Charlie got first place.
Charlie Arlinson, there you go.
And Ryan Searson got second.
All right. Both good dudes.
Also, all the participants got
Yeah.
awesome. I
Yeah, I
can't
saw
believe
this.
he's gone foil AIs that have Mr.
John
John
Anderson.
Anderson on them.
Thank
so
you.
that's a really cool tribute.
Yeah.
All right. So Fred has 13 and 6-ish in hand. I think his hand's a little bigger. Hayes has good board position in terms of lots of dudes on the board, but Fred can push out damage. That especially that flipped objective doing 2 and the shadows ping for 1, 3 free damage plus the system that he won't be able to do anything at. Like pushing through that 4 damage every turn is going to be rough. So someone comes down with Chelly comes down with Shizor, and then he retrieves Probot into hand, who goes to the beach again. That Probot loves probing the beach there.
Yeah, he's the metal detector on the beach guy.
Everyone's shouting out to the Bespin crew with
Yeah.
Dennis and Mishki making the top
Well
8 and Charlie winning the
represented this year.
consolation. Yep, and those Minnesota guys are starting to get good at this game.
Yeah.
Who let that happen?
Walseth, apparently. He trained them all up.
He never yarnled base,
Okay.
so that killed him.
Huge swing right there.
And the Stardust relocated.
And now, does Kraken get Destiny on his own?
He does.
Okay, because I guess all your ability
He
is
adds
provided.
the Destiny with,
Yeah.
Yep. When.
Well, all your ability provided by scouts, spies, or whatever it is.
Yep. And then he goes ahead and moves IG over to hang out with Afra and Shizor. Oh, it's free because IG's a Black Sun agent, so IG moves free. B-Fred takes that force back. For some reason, Hayes is activating already when B-Fred's still thinking about. B-Fred looks like he's thinking about moving the ship or something. I don't know why you'd land when it's doing free damage, and I don't know why he was lifting that up. That was weird. Can't shuttle from it. It's not a capital. No, that's not a capital. You can't shuttle from that. Hopefully they'll catch that.
Yeah, maybe make sure to go in there. Was that what he was trying to do? So you fixed it?
Yeah.
All right.
He shuttled down.
Active judging
and
for the win.
So the dude on there is not Vanis Keeg. That's why I didn't draw one from reserve. It was Dengar with gun.
Dengar. Oh, we were wondering about him maybe coming down and slicing
Yeah,
up some troopers. So
right.
it's good to know that he's there instead.
Yeah,
but he's a
Hayes
pilot.
caught the shuttle thing too, and
Okay.
he was saying that's not a capital. What's up? Oh, cool. Come hang out. There's a chair right there.
Yeah, you can come over here if you want, Justin.
Yep, Cornell says that's a huge swing it caused. He did 5 damage that turn, and he just prevented 2 Stardust damage. So Fred is playing this quite well.
And you said Hayes was pretty confident in his matchup.
Yep, I think sometimes Hayes' tests are against players that aren't. I was telling him, like, Fred's a good player, don't get overconfident. I think that, like I said, I think the match is about a 8 to 12 win for
Mm-hmm.
for no idea. But if you're stuff can go wrong, and if you can't find Luke all game,
Yeah.
it might cut
He
that eight
top
to
decked the
twelve
one
win
Luke,
to
and
like
then
a 4 to 8 win.
he's been searching for that
You
Luke
know.
all game.
Um, oh, John Michael with the tech play. He says he can drain at the beach with Kraken, then control phase move him over, pick up the dust, and do 2 damage with
He's
that.
doing that right now.
There we go.
Yep.
John
That control
Michael.
phase movement is fucking
It's
very strong.
moving should not be done outside the move phase.
Yeah.
Like, why do people think about Nabra and like and
Yeah.
Alice? Like, yeah,
Maybe like a once per game thing that you can do with the movement, not, as many characters as you can place out of play.
yeah,
Or once per turn, I guess, but
yeah. Looks like he didn't move Kraken, but it's clearly on his radar. He decided to move someone else. No, he's thinking about moving Corrin. Break you through PO's cover or something? Did he already break you through PO's cover last turn? I don't know. He
not
checked
sure.
reserve.
It's a trap ray.
Wait, how did he check reserve?
Docking
Because
bay.
if he used docking bay, then he can't control phase move.
Oh, yeah. I think he missed the move with the Corrin Horn, was what he did.
Did he? Was that the number of dudes who was already out of play before this turn, though? I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't
We
quite
kind of
catch
missed
what happened.
what happened there
If
for sure.
anyone-
Didn't.
I don't know. When did Corrin get there?
It also doesn't look like there's a use pile, so he must not have moved.
He must
Yeah.
not have moved
Yeah.
because, yeah, there's no use pile. But I don't know why he wouldn't have moved and do 2 Stardust damage. Maybe he just has no guys in hand. to
Corrin
come
has
down
been
with
there?
Kraken.
Okay. So it wasn't Corrin.
Okay.
So maybe he's still thinking about doing it.
Yeah, I mean, clearly it was on his radar because he did move Kraken over physically the card and just,
Yeah.
I wonder what he's thinking about.
Mm.
Should have plenty of guys in lost pile. 3 for Saw.
Saw, okay.
Maybe he wants to. Oh, I know. He wants to save it to cancel IG's capture.
Okay.
IG capturing the power 8 dude or whatever. He wants to be able to just cancel a Destiny. They're all such high defense value, though. I don't know that it
Yeah.
was needed. But he decided, I don't want to move because I want to be able to save in case I need to cancel a Destiny targeting one of my dudes. I feel like that has to be. Why are we drawing Destinies here? I guess he IG'd and missed, and then
Yeah.
yeah. So he's counting up power. Really needs to kill that Shizor.
Yeah.
It's killing him.
Or find Luke. One or the other.
Yeah.
This is P59. And Shizor?
No, he's just setting him aside as
Oh,
he's
okay.
counting.
So you probably lose everybody else besides Shizor first if you can.
He's gonna, I think, lose them all.
Clear the site.
Yeah,
He's kind of
and
stuck
with this-
between.
and with the sewer gone, that's huge for Hayes. That's 2 less damage, and now he can move in front of Emperor. He decides to go ahead and lose Cassian. He can move dudes in. Oh, he activates 1 when he loses Cassian. Yeah, Gorn also is huge again. Yeah, the swings on this are just great. He flips back. He's going to be able to break the cover, move in front of Emperor, and then he's just taken 1. He moves Kraken. I think
He's gonna shuttle.
shuttle down 2 dudes, Wedge,
Wedge
and Bodhi.
and Bodhi Rook, yeah.
Gornal says Saw added 3 attrition and Ray added another one. So, plus his Destiny, IG's only forfeit 3.
Yeah.
And who was the other dude there?
Shizor and P59.
P59. Yeah,
4.
so P59
4, 3, and 3, right?
3, and he drew a Destiny, I think 3, Saw added 3, and Ray added another one. I think they might have covered, but maybe not. I mean,
Maybe there was
he had to
battle
lose them
damage
all.
after that, too.
I don't know. Yeah. So he decided to block Probots.
You move Kraken there, move Wedge and Bodhi
The
down.
interesting thing is, Kraken is just gonna die to Probot. Like you battle with Probot because you don't want Kraken picking up the plans and doing it. So
Because yeah, the
they'll
playload was
die,
like you said to do the bonus move and do it that way, but
and then next turn you bonus move over Bodhi. He picks up the plans. You drain at the beach and the vault, and then you move
and you
Wedge
get
in to
to
consolidate.
it's like a
And then the
cantina
next turn
shuffle
you'll move a
almost.
dude back out to the beach and drain. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Cantina shuffle
unless he decides he
basically.
wants to go after the Emperor.
So we're
Beefred
pretty
is
sure there's
still
no
at 3
force
battlegrounds
lightning.
for Shadows, but that won't be long because Probot will die here soon. And Beefred did have some guys in hand. Cornell says something about Utani. I don't. Oh, he drew a Utani,
Okay, if I was a
which I
Destiny.
think is Destiny 3.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
So that's 3. Saw adds 3. Ray adds 1. That's 7. And P59 and IG should cover, but I think it was just a big power difference. They only cover 7
yeah, it must have
power
been that.
difference, and it must have been probably like 12 or 50. Or I mean, the power difference must have been like, yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know. Well,
there's a lot. The Endor Commando team saw the extra attrition.
I don't
Ray.
think he has any way to get Shizor unless he's on top and he has no escape. But yeah, he is on top. So if he has no escape, he can get him back. I don't. Yeah, no escape is not yet on table. But Sewer has already been burned. Imbalance combo could get him back when Kraken dies. But I think it would get back Probot actually, because Probot would have to be forfeited first, unless he like was down enough in battle. He'd lose a battle damage that was an interrupt, and then
And
imbalance
then
combo. She's
Play in a balance combo to get your Shizor back.
Oh, CRG says he drew no escape for a Destiny last turn, so
Probably
yes,
doesn't have
it
that.
seems. Yeah, he could Shadow Wizard into hand then if he knows where
Where
it
it
is. But
is.
he's only at about 6 life force. He'd have to like Shadows that, play the no escape, which is a lost card essentially,
then
play
not-
the Shizor, which is then a lost card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gornal says Probot's immunity is canceled. That's
Because of this
true.
data vault. Yeah.
Yep. So Fred's just, how can he eke out a couple more damage?
Game one.
Well,
Yeah, this
he's
is
already
game
popped.
1. Yeah, so it's gonna be close, however it goes. I'm guessing Hayes will end up winning by like a handful.
Yeah, 8.
7, 6, 5, 8. Less than 10, more than 5, probably.
Yeah. All right, so he uses all his force and thinks about playing someone with Probot. Right now, he just wants to stay on 3 battlegrounds, drain and ping, get eke what damage he can through. So backing up Probot is reasonable, though I almost
Cad
think
Bane?
Cad Bane, I almost think going to the docking bay would be better.
Yeah, get that sight. But
Because you're
this
not stopping him from getting Stardust.
Okay.
So why have him with Probot? And he might clear. He probably won't clear both. Well, Kraken gets an extra Destiny with someone, so he could draw 2 Destinies and clear them both. Yeah, I just don't see a reason to.
Yeah, you just battle into Kraken, clear him, and then put Cad Bane at the docking bay.
Right. Well, he didn't have the force to deploy him
That's
and battle
fair,
and draw
that's
Destiny.
fair,
So,
yeah.
but you leave Probot in front alone because he's.
He's fine.
Yeah. You don't risk losing both, but I don't think it's fine either way. So right now, I'm assuming he broke U3PO's cover, and whenever Corn came down.
Yeah.
So then he'll be draining 2, 2, 2 at the beach,
And
1 at the
then-
system, and Stardust for 2. So
Yep.
that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9.
9?
That should
kill
probably
Beefred.
do it. I don't know how many.
He's got 4 or 5 in hand, but
Yeah. Yeah. So Beefred might be left with 1 or 2, but then he'll block the Emperor damage. He'll lose 1 to Shadows and 1 to the system. So let's see.
10 if he needs 10, right?
1, 2. He can. Oh, he can also move over due to the city instead. So that's what he'll do. He'll control phase move over Saw. Oh, he should do that before draining because people can only participate
Yeah.
in 1 drain a turn.
yeah, he needed to do that. Maybe he's not seeing that, or he doesn't have a character.
Or maybe it's.
He has used that text like 4 times, but I'm sure he has a character or 2 in there he could use to place how to play.
The other thing is, if he has a spy tracked, he might want to battle and retrieve 1. If he's got enough cards in hand to cover the Shadows ping and the system drain, he might want to battle with Probot, purposely not killing him this turn, so that he can retrieve 1, then lose from hand to the drains and Shadow ping, and have one extra life force.
Every little life force does seem to count, so.
And Beefred might know that he was losing from reserve. He still has 4 in hand, and he was just losing from reserve. He's down to 1 in reserve.
He's trying to see if there's ways that he
And
can.
Hayes
He's
is,
just going to
yep.
lose it. Yeah.
Okay, so game over.
So game
So
one
let's
will
see
it
the
be a
count.
final of? I'm
Hayes
guessing it's like
has
8.
1,
1, 2,
3,
3.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9.
Hayes by 9.
Hayes by 9.
Right in my 8 to
You
12
said 8 to
prediction.
12. I said less than
And
10, more than 5. Or yeah.
he was flipped the entire game until the second to last turn, and that's why it knocked it from 12 down to 9.
Yep.
It's like, because that went wrong for Hayes, and then a lot of stuff went right, and so they kind of counterbalanced. But
Yep.
not having Imper out, so that was only a 1 ping the whole time instead of 2 was big.
And then when Beefred lost to Cree in that questionable scenario, then that
and
started
that
the Stardust pinging for
started
more.
the Stardust ping, but the Stardust didn't ping a ton.
Didn't ping a ton
on
after
because
that, but
after
it did a
that
couple
it
times.
relocated, yeah. So
Definitely did a couple
it was a very
times.
interesting interplay, especially when you compare it to the previous game with Eric Hunter playing that same match. It played out a little bit differently. The space pretty much played out pretty similarly.
Right, yeah, right around the same way with stranding
But
over at Scarif and
the
then
ground was interesting. So hopefully that gives you guys an idea of how to play that match.
how to
It was
attack this
really
matchup.
enjoyable chess match.
So
The
yeah,
next match will be Brian Fred's Diplo versus Hayes Map.
so we would
and,
need to see, Beefred would need to
that
get
will
it to win
probably
by
be
10 or more.
Yep.
If he wants to get that one through.
Yep.
So
Or 9
imagine
to
they'll
go to
probably
Lost
take
Files.
a few minutes to
Couple-minute break to decompress.
decompress
and we'll probably be back in about 10 minutes, I would guess.
Yep. We'll leave the screen open like this so you can
Yeah, so they
keep
Hayes was by 9. He had 21 in lost, and Beefred's 37 in
37.
lost.
Okay. So yeah, win by 9 and it was 21 in lost for light and 31 or 37 in
We'll see if it comes
lost
down
for
to the
dark.
lost piles.
We're going to mute our mics and
Yep.
be back with you guys in just a few minutes. Thanks for watching. We got one more game left for the Endor Grand Prix.
Okay, so I think they're getting ready for game two. Uh, B Fred and so we got B Fred and Hayes. I think B Fred wanted to show some people something on the stream.
This is signed Jaquils by Brian Hunter.
Yeah.
Really wanted people to see those.
Oh, they're amazing.
So,
He signed them. I want to say it was back in the Worlds when Nate Meeker won.
oh, so that would have been like '05,
Yeah,
'06.
'06.
'05 was
Sheely?
Drew Scott.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. Drew Scott versus Shaw.
Yeah, Walker's Worlds was ugly in '04.
Diplo versus Map.
I want to say like 80% of the field was Walker's.
Yeah. You know what? I want to see that deck again, like a Walker's, but not as busted.
So yeah, back in Legacy we had the Walker's objective that lets you like actually blow up the
It
generators
was
and
never fun
stuff.
to play against because it like
Well, look at the light side right now. How bad is how fun to play against a lot of the light side decks?
so the answer or you don't answer not fun decks by introducing not fun decks.
Yeah, well, I mean, dark side needs something, right?
Dark side needs something for sure.
Walker
Yeah.
is always about doing 8 direct damage as fast as possible when it's just not
Yeah.
hit 8 to the face on turn 3.
Depends on the eight.
Well, yeah, if you get lucky and lose like an 8 you don't care about.
No, no, I'm saying like it depends on the eight, like how hot she is.
Well, that's why I asked you the thing. What's that?
So it depends on how hot the eight is.
You're losing the 8, so
What about same as Dan there, Chris Kelly? Same as Dan. Uh,
Lost pile counts do not count out of play cards. They are
Yeah.
out of play,
they don't exist anymore.
except for uniqueness purposes. That sort of thing. You want to see Walker's
oh,
back?
crap. I want to see something. I want to
Chris
see.
Kelly is saying, same as Dan, he wants to see Walker's back.
I want to see something happen where Darkseid gets some good stuff. I'm sick and tired of seeing the same, like three or four light side decks dominate the meta, whereas people are like, "Oh, I'm playing this dark side deck because it has a good chance
Has a
against like most
chance?
of the stuff."
Yeah. Yep,
Like,
Dark definitely needs some help in the tweak set.
yeah.
Hopefully not help for like TTO, but help for
Hey, you know what? I'm going to say
Dark
this: that
Knights to be
TTO
okay.
deck that Justin made, is ridiculously fun, except for against Legend. Because when you're drawing like 4 to 5 destinies, Legend doesn't care.
Why?
I mean, they get the one reset, like they get the one redraw, so you gotta always have that extra one. And I mean, to me, I played Legend today with that TTO, and it was just rough. Like they always had the answer.
Who were
If
you
it
playing
was
against?
Searson and Justin Mashiro, but
Gorn also has a stunning move mains. I think
Yeah,
a stunning
I think
move's
that's a
gonna
good
get some help in
start.
the tweak set.
honestly, like I would love to see maybe. I know there's a tweak set. I don't know like what cards are gonna be. The rest of the cards are gonna be in them. I heard slight rumors that there was going to be a redo to the Maul effect, and I agree.
What Maul effect? The one
The
that
one-
relocates him and pulls his saber?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I
Well,
think
I
it's
like
good.
it too, but I mean, if they're going to do it, maybe make it something like Jedi business. Give ASM a way to pull Dooku's saber.
Oh, maybe. All right, so
Just thinking
they
of
are
some
about to
things.
start
Okay,
game.
so can't tell which R2 Beefheart is
The
playing.
game.
But looks
we've
like
been
he's got.
recording for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. The combo one.
You sure? Okay. Because I know he's got Menace Fades. So from what I can see, he's got Menace Fades. He's got Speak, and I want to say Strike Planning. Okay, so he's got
We got Scout
Luke,
Luke,
Jin.
Jin, Might, Barrier, Bale,
ooh
Guts,
Yeah.
uh,
Perimeter
Can't
Scan
Tell,
and
and
another
Corvette.
Corvette. So I mean, that's a pretty good starting hand for B Fred. I mean, I'm gonna guess that Luke's his agent in this matchup.
Yep,
So
he
having
has-
that Luke first turn is always good. Jin to go down, block a drain
And
at
Hayes is
Jakku.
showing his hand, which is a bunch of silver cards. He did the same gag last game, so we don't know what Hayes has.
Oh,
Um,
Hayes is mysterious.
Hayes is not a team player here,
No.
not a stream player. Um, all right. So let's talk about this match because this is one we have not seen on camera today. Maybe it was yesterday when Jerry was streaming. I'm not sure, but um, in this match, of course, we've seen both these. We've at least seen this Diplo deck on stream versus Eric Hunter's Rops last game. We have not seen Hayes' map on stream because he blew out Harpster in game one, and so we moved them off the stream. And sure enough, Harpster scooped on turn two against this
Wow.
map. So we haven't seen this on stream. I will go ahead and tell you some of the tech in it.
The
Hayes
Hayes deck.
Hayes map deck is definitely a day two style deck. He's
Okay.
got two laser cannon batteries. He's got a relentless pursuit, which is the power pivot for Darkseid that can make a hit ship lost or make one power zero. So against Harpster, his he basically Harpster had the home one out turn two, and then Hayes came out with like finalizer, laser cannon battery, relentless pursuit, power zero, and Harpster was gonna have to lose like
Yeah.
it was like 17 difference. She was gonna have to lose a home one and five, and was just like, all right, I scoop.
Well, the nice
Um,
thing is that Beefred has the Bale Organa in his hand already. So once he gets it onto the Tantive is going to be immune to weapons.
Bale will be immune to or Tanev will be immune to getting shot, but it can still be
Power. It can still be
reduced power,
lateral,
and
overwhelmed.
the other ships can also
Yeah.
be shot still. Bale only protects one ship. So let's
Yeah.
see. So Hayes pulls a sight. He plays a character from hand, Dopeld if he has him, otherwise a generic trooper, so that he can pull the system.
Control Cipher Sun can remove
Be,
Bale, but the question is,
it's
do you
not in
think?
the
Yeah, I was
deck.
going to say
Yeah.
it's not. I don't think it's going to be in the deck. I don't think there's the room for it right now. And
Especially with the different tricks Hayes put in. So,
yeah,
Beefred played that Mighty Head. I didn't see what he pulled, but I'm
Leia.
assuming it's Leia because he had Bale already. And
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I saw him pull. He got Leia. He got Mon Mothma, and he got another character that
probably Kraken.
I want to say. Yeah, maybe Kraken, because there's no reason for him
Yeah.
to get the. Is he playing General Calrissian, or is he?
No, he doesn't have strike planning, or I mean Squasson. He starts strike
Okay,
planning,
so he's taking.
farm card, and walkling.
So he's pretty much taking a little bit of a more of a slow approach on the flip. It seems
So
like.
Hayes pays two for a generic trooper to pull the system from reserve.
I guess the question is, if you're Hayes, do you want to get the finalizer out quick in this matchup, or do you just want to see about going to ground, see about putting Kylo and his saber out?
I think you want to start getting. You need to be in space and ground, so you're not paying to drain. There is, Hayes's play here for Stormtroopers pretty bold when you got to consider he just pulled Leia, who's a spy. So
Correct.
he's
And Kraken, who also is a spy, who would add
Kraken,
addition.
Kraken's not a spy. He's just a scout. He works with spies and scouts, but he's not a spy himself. But he can drop Leia and Kraken and get two destinies
Yeah.
and blow it out, and so he's either representing a Gik, or
I don't know, because it looks like he's only got
he
two
saves
cards
two.
left. I don't like this. It's bold. Now the question is, if you're B Fred,
Do you go for it?
do you? Yeah. I don't know. I personally I like the idea of putting Leia onto Tatooine because you get that use power pool.
You get to use Pop
The use power pools are going to be really important on this one for B Fred because I mean it would make his. I mean, is he playing projection of Skywalkers in his deck? Did we see any of those today?
Uh, Not that I recall.
Okay, because
I don't think he would. I
yeah,
don't
I
think
don't
it's
think he
needed.
would,
But
especially with the Menace
I know.
Fades out
Yeah,
there.
he's got Menace Fades. I do think that. Oh, he started Menace Fades, so he must have started
Yes.
that over Walkling, which stops the finalizer drain plus one at Jakku, stops the drain plus one at the Starkiller
Yeah.
base office, and stops Kylo's saber. So that's a good card to have out versus map.
Well, I was going to say that's your. I mean, we saw you do that a lot at Worlds with your Diplo. I did that against your map yesterday. I mean, that
Yeah.
didn't help me, but I mean, this is you versus me. I mean, I went 3-5 like we told everybody. You went five and
5-3.
or I went 3-5. You went 5-3. So I mean, a little bit of difference there.
Yeah, I think so. As far as the Leia Kraken play, I think it's a high risk, high reward play. That if he blows out the trooper, makes him peel like 8, that's great. But if he just makes him burn a Gick and he used his whole first turn and didn't play Bale, didn't get to use Pow Pull with Leia, didn't do much. I feel like Fred is ahead
Hmm.
in this game. If you're just comparing this matchup, I think
Yeah.
Diplo should win it by, comfortably by 10. He did lose the first game by 9, so maybe
Yeah.
he wants a little bit of an extra edge. But I don't think he's going to take that higher play.
Honestly, I think Beefred to me seems more of the conservative player, anyways. I mean, I like
Yep,
him getting
I
out
agree.
only Alderan right now, because that's going to limit the amount of force that Hayes is going to work with. You don't want Hayes. Okay, so he's going to get the
He pulls
farm
a farm
too.
with the farm card. You take your free
Yeah,
pulls while they're in the reserve deck. But
yeah,
Alderaan also, you don't want to activate that later when you want to flip. He
yeah.
also he also is looking to see is Chandrilla in there, because if it is, he wants to play Mothma and
Get the bell over there. Get
get
start
that
trading
out.
for
He
two.
didn't pull it out, so I'm assuming it was
Yeah.
not in there.
I don't even think. Did he get Mon Mothma onto the Tantive?
No, not yet. But
Yeah.
but and that might influence his play here. He might decide to do
Hmm.
Leia Kraken because he activated Chandrilla. If he hadn't activated it, he might want Mothma into Chandrilla to move over. Since he can't do that anyway,
Hmm.
he might decide, hey, I'll just do that.
I don't know. To me, it just screams risk.
Hmm. I think Hayes is the type of player though that might bluff that.
Yeah, and it just seems I don't know. Like, well,
So he
so
pays
here comes
6 for
four.
Luke. Did he only pay 4? I wasn't.
No, Luke's up in
Yeah.
space.
Okay. He does pay
Okay,
6. He plays Luke in space, which is
and he's gonna use one. So he
and
uses
2 for
two.
Kraken maybe. 2 for Mothma or 2 for
Bail.
Bale. Okay.
Okay, I like that.
So Luke in space being a Jedi means he cannot get overwhelmed, and I
Yep.
think that is a
That's
card
what.
that
Yeah.
Fred's worried that what will happen will be Hayes pays 4 for the shuttle to Tatooine, plays a lateral damage, and then plays overwhelmed,
Yeah.
and resets the Tantive to
Yeah.
use,
I like that play.
sends everything used, relocates a droid, and so he says, you know what, I'm just going to play super conservative. I'm playing a
Yeah.
Jedi there. I'm putting Mothma. I've got my Destiny. I got my droids that can relocate.
Hmm.
Tantive's super safe now. Go ahead.
Yeah. And like you said, Beefred really doesn't need to rush. I mean, he's playing a deck that, in my personal opinion, again, just it's a little bit favored in this matchup because he's going to get the retrieval. I mean, he has to keep.
Fades is going to keep the damage down.
Yeah.
He's Hayes does not have a ship that can get around Tatooine, capping his destiny. So Hayes is limited to one destiny at that
Hmm.
system, which means Beefred can
Yeah.
pile there and sit and celebrate all day. So
The only thing that move will cost Beefred right now is he's not going to get that use pile pull with Luke.
he won't. Right.
So now, I mean, if Luke stays on the table the rest of the game, I mean, I don't think
Luke's
Beefred's
the
going to
agent, so he's going to need to get down
complain.
to a
Yeah.
site, but he'll wait until he has like Obi or something to put on there, and then he can
Hmm.
shuttle Luke down with protection and flip Hayes back. And
Well,
so but anyway, I think just sitting there at the system and retrieving,
hmm.
he's in a good spot. Hayes goes ahead and reveals Finalizer to pull Hux from
Okay.
his reserve. He deploys the other side as well.
Yeah.
Um, he's
I mean,
B
once.
Fred wants to just sit and retrieve with celebration and
Hmm.
not get lateral overwhelmed.
Yeah. I mean, he does eventually want to flip, but
Oh yeah, he will. He'll
he's
go
going
to
to need to
Chandrilla
flip.
and whatever, but his long term plan I think is it's but also next turn he used all his force. He knew Chandrilla was in there. So
Yeah.
he used all his force. He'll pull that next turn with Mothma and move over. He's making sure he's not going to get overwhelmed. Luke will get down at
Hmm.
some point. There's not any interrupts for him to stack. He's not going to be retrieving with celebration for a while.
Yeah.
There's no need to have Luke down on the ground. Um,
Yeah.
And if he forfeits Luke in a space battle, great. He's got at least one or two more to
Hmm.
toss down to the ground and get a use power pull. So
I wonder. Hayes has got to be playing Masterful Move combo in this matchup. Or I mean, in his deck.
uh, yeah, I think it's
So.
not typically a card you would play, but I believe he does have one in his
Hmm.
deck because he was realizing people might play Diplo, and both Masterful Move or both Celebration and Savrip are annoying cards, and so
Yeah.
so he does.
So do you think that's going to be
Hayes is good at
that's
reading metas, and he added that in
yeah?
yesterday,
Do you
knowing.
think that's a possible card that Beefred will end up grabbing in this matchup just so he can
Oh,
play the
absolutely.
second
I
one?
mean, if he knows Hayes has that,
Yeah.
he's on a verify or something, that's you save your grabber for that, so you can, because then when he cancels one of them, you can OB for it back. He cancels celebration with
Mm-hmm.
it. You use OB to swap for it back, or you walkling it back, or whatever, and so
Yeah.
you grab it, so it can only cancel once, and then you can abuse the other one as well.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I mean, I think also if you're Beefred, you want to get out maybe Leia down to get that use pomp pull because you're also looking for Antilles.
so,
Antilles will make the Tantive immune to lateral damage, which is it's going to make it a little bit more difficult to overwhelm it.
yep, yep,
So,
definitely. Um, so Hayes after his use pull with Hux, Hayes drops Phasma, initially put over at the office, and then decides he wants to probably go over with this other trooper to Jakku,
hmm
realizing also Menace Fades will cap him, if not immediately, quite soon, and turn that office drain to a 1, so he
yeah,
decided he might as well just go over to Jakku. Um, and he pays 3 for Phasma and does another
that's
use,
it, and it
another
keeps
battle
it.
pull.
Well, I mean, Hayes knows that Beefred has the Leia, so that's also smart because I mean he's not going to go to Starkiller and just leave that little stormtrooper alone.
Right, will shuttle him up.
Yeah.
But he'd also need stuff to go with Phasma, because Phasma could be attacked, and yeah,
And you're at least
Leia
getting one
Kraken gets 2
destiny.
destinies. Yeah.
Yeah, both players are playing
Yeah,
really conservative.
I'm almost thinking Hayes should have though done Phasma in space and shuttled up, because Phasma with the Trooper is still only 1
hmm
destiny. It's just, and quite low forfeit. If Kraken and
Yeah,
Leia come down, they clear both. And um,
and that sets him back a lot.
yeah, unless he's just basically using it for that use pile pull because he really
Yeah,
wants certain cards that, those laser cannon batteries, that sort of stuff that he's like,
yeah.
all right, I just want to come down, get Chimera. Um,
For yesterday, I played Diplo. Today, I actually played Ryan Jelson's Y4 Ops. Really fun deck. Kind of has issues with map if you don't get out BB-8 in red or black one, but it was fun. I mean, it's been a while since I played, so I just wanted to play decks that I knew I was going to have some fun with. That's why I played TTO with 2 dark collaborations because I know I was going to be able to draw multiple destinies. And Diplo just seems like it's a kind of a fun deck. I haven't played No Idea. I'm not a big fan of Throne Room, not a big fan of Hitco. And outside of that, I really don't think there's any light side decks that you really want to play. So,
so Hayes moves over the Trooper, draws a card, saves 2. He is now flipped. Um, he goes to read Bale.
Legends pretty is still pretty hard to play. Now, granted, Ryan Searson and Justin Masuro played a really good version today that I had to play against,
Ryan
and
Ryan
I kind of like
Searson
him.
has a giant legend objective because the undercard for legend is mind
hmm
what you've learned, and there's of course giant
Yep.
oversized mind what you have learned objective. So he took the legend and scaled it to a 5x7 objective and printed out both sides of that 5x7 and slipped it over the giant mind what you have learned in like a giant sleeve that he somehow has too.
Yeah.
And so it's
It
awesome.
look. Yeah, I was gonna say Justin Masuro has the same thing. I don't know how he did his, but they look really nice.
Yeah,
So
they're high quality prints.
I definitely, if you get the chance, I'd say hit them up on the forums and just ask them,
Funny.
hey, can you show us a picture? Because
Yeah.
they, like I said, they look really nice. So back to the action. I mean, we got Beef Red's turn. He did. Looks like he tried for a pool, and there's a verify from Hayes. So I want to say it was maybe a.
I don't know. He pulled. It looks like he pulled the Mos Eisley site. He
hmm
pulled Chandrilla. Um,
So I don't know what he could have pulled. Maybe.
what
Well,
he's
he's got one card
verifying
down, so
with.
maybe it was a Might of the Republic.
Hmm. All right.
And he's got a lot of force to work with. So
So he threw. I think the card in used is. I think he played Mothma to pull the Chandrilla because last turn he played Bale with Luke,
hmm
or maybe he played Moth. I don't remember which one he played last turn. One last turn,
no, he
one this
played
turn.
Bale last turn.
Okay,
So yeah,
then
Mothma's
so
on the
Mothma's
table. So
this turn.
yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Obviously, another big advantage of having Luke piloting the Tantive right now is when it goes to move, Luke is Destiny 6 or Ability 6, so Gravity Shadow, he's
It's pretty hard to hit.
yeah, he'd have to
Yeah.
draw Dopeld, and then it would
Well,
be stuck. But I don't think he has any natural sixes. Dopeld's a 7 with Hux
yeah.
untable, and so it would make it stuck, not blow it up. And I don't think he has any sixes in there except the Dopelds
Well,
with
what
and with
about
Hux
is he
untable.
playing? Maybe he's playing Spectre, the Supreme Leader.
No, no.
No. Okay.
So Jin goes undercover to stop the drain of 1 at Jakku.
Okay. So it looks like
Tonal
Beefheart's gonna
Village.
be moving, so doesn't have to pay because
Free
it's
move.
Tatooine. So yeah, I mean that tandem's pretty loaded up right now. It's immune to. I mean, if you're Beefred and if there is a battle with a Chimera and Thrawn, do you just
Yes. Yeah, they have an Charlie's
yeah
active judging in there too, but we'll also chime in if we see something. Yep.
yeah okay? So Beefred's just drawn, but if you're Beefred and you see the Chimera come down, what do you do? Do you lose to Luke?
I think he barriers it, but
Yeah, I'm just saying if there's no
if there's no barrier,
yeah. No, he's not. Yeah, he's still not satisfying menace. Um,
but
I think
he's
that's
on.
smart because he didn't have any protection in his hand. At least what we
Yeah,
saw.
Beefred's got a barrier now. He's got a bunch of
Yeah,
good cards
but
now.
now he does. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say too bad. I don't see another ship, so he's gonna have to move the Alderaan or the Tantive over to Alderaan. So it's again, it's a little slow. That's why I like your version with the
Squadron
Falcon.
assignments
Yeah,
is
Squadron Assignments, Calrissian.
turn quicker. All right, so he drains for 2, and he loses guts and might.
Two almost dead cards at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the Might's a trackable 5, but I would rather lose those two cards than something. Oh, that's
So overwhelmed and lateral are in reserve. Command sniper combo, um, Gik combo. It
what's that?
looks like
There's a lateral
Chiranu.
PV's in there. What's that red card? The fourth one down.
Um, was it a
Always thinking with your stomach.
overwhelmed
Nope,
Git
that's good
combo?
combo.
Yeah.
Okay, it just looked.
Yeah.
It just had a little bit of green. I couldn't. Yeah. So he's playing the Gik combo, so no regular Gik. So what are the chances you think he's playing a Masterful Move combo?
He's playing it.
He is okay.
Yeah.
I just find it funny that he's playing that with the Gik combo because if you're playing
Normally
yeah normally you don't see that.
you don't, but Git combo cancels react and does it.
Yeah.
Git combo's good, and normally he
Yeah.
wouldn't play the masterful, but for match play with the potential for Diplo,
Yeah.
he
Well,
he added that
now
in.
that Beefred sees that the Gik one at least one Gik is in Hayes's deck,
He might go for a
he
beatdown
might
at
go
some
down
point.
for a beatdown.
Yeah, and who knows
I
if
mean
Hayes
that
has the
that
other
that
one.
verification was really good for Beefred.
Yeah.
I mean he doesn't even need to like throw down Leia. I mean he has Jin there.
Well, it's a
Jin and then
battleground. He can deploy there without.
well no I'm saying like Jin's there. You crack you crack her from undercover. You throw down crack in. That's two Destiny.
Yeah.
So you don't have
That's
to
not
use
gonna
Leia.
overflow much, right? And if he trooper assaults, then they're immune. And
Yeah, that's the
bad
only thing.
loads.
But I mean, Beefred. I mean, I'm gonna say that Beefred is probably playing sense. Hayes and Beefred both have their the wise advice and their oppressive shield out, so
Yeah.
both are protecting against a sense or possible
Sense.
alter.
Yeah.
Probably the sense.
Yeah, I don't think he did play
So
alter. So Hayes goes to deploy.
up there's this
Yeah.
hard. So yeah, Beefred's got to do something now with Jin because she's just gonna sit there. I mean, her cover's gonna be blown, but hey, he'll be satisfied. I mean, I'd be satisfied for battle plan next turn, so you
Yeah.
won't have to pay for training. I mean, that's a bonus.
Yeah. We'll go to drain 2 at Chandrilla because
Yeah.
Dale adds 1.
Is that's a? I think it looks like a. Oh, there's Grievous.
Grievous to the Mos
One of the
Eisley.
yeah.
Drain 2 location. Hayes knows he needs to start putting on the damage because if Diplo stabilizes, get that celebration going, stacks the system, gets the Cantina shuffle, if they can get to that
Yep.
point, they'll
It's
stabilize and win,
yeah,
and it's really tough. And Hayes needs to get him below 9 before he can, because if he can stabilize at
yeah.
about 12 and do that, Hayes can't push any more damage through that. So
No.
he needs to. So he's going probably a little more aggressive than you might
Yeah.
otherwise.
I mean, he sees that Luke's on the attentive, so I mean, that's one of the better characters for Beefred at this point. I mean, Beefred's going to have all those little guys. He wants to flip, so he gets that extra damage in with the battle destiny, the
Yep.
total battle destiny. So,
So he goes
okay.
Kylo to his office and gets a used power pole.
I'm not a big fan of Kylo there because I mean, Kylo's not going to do anything
Right.
there.
I feel like Kylo needs to be aggressive
Yeah.
and go attack and do his ping damage. The other thing is, I didn't see the saber in reserve deck,
No.
so Kylo is just kind of naked. Like Kylo's open to Beefred dropping a couple guys in front of Kylo
Yeah.
and making Kylo peel 2 to his own text. Though I think Hayes does have at least a barrier by now.
I hope so. So
Takes a card.
you might know this. How many Endor Grand Prix have there been? Has it? It's been.
I think it started in 16, so I think
This is number 4.
yeah. So Beefred won in 16. Then in 17 was Tom Kelly,
Yeah, and then
and then
Chu,
18 was Chu,
and then last year
or
was
no,
last year
18,
was
18
yeah,
was Lenny,
2 years. It was
19
Lenny,
was
and
Chu.
then oh,
Good seeing you,
later,
buddy.
Harvester. Hey, good showing. Did you get your the objective? Go see the front table. Top 8 got a prize from me. Yeah, yeah,
Coronel asked if Isard's a leader, and she is.
yeah.
So,
There's the cover,
oh, and the saber did come out. I didn't
okay.
see. Maybe that was in reserve,
Or maybe it was a used pop hole.
or yeah,
It had to be a
purple
used
or
pop
in
hole.
hand. I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So Leia will add against Isard because
Mm-hmm.
she's a leader if he does decide to go there. I don't know why you would. Like, you're battling it in 2 destinies.
Yeah.
I would just move Jin over for the moment, and so he goes ahead.
Well, I was gonna say it depends on what Hayes does because yeah, he's moved to
He
the
free
finalizer.
moves his
So I
ship
mean,
over to Tatooine because that's going to be a drain too. If Tannen
yeah,
moves back, then it's another long trip to Alderaan. So
yeah.
he's like, you know what? I need to start pouring on that damage.
There's a ship for Beefred though, so he could ship Doc, move R2 with the plans over. Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. Had a little bit of a gave us some prizes out to the top 8. I made some stuff, let's just say, and Harvster's asking me some questions on like what he gets to take. Yes, you get to pick your own, pick whatever you want. Sweet.
neat,
Yeah, take it easy, man.
nice run.
So, I mean, he could always. I mean, he could move
All
the
right.
Tantive over to Jakku, start his own drain
So
of 2.
here's what I would be worried about if I was Hayes, and why I think shuttling up the troopers earlier would have just been better and stuff. He's got um, uh, the general, the
Yeah.
first order general. My name is now blanking.
Hux.
Hux. He's
Hugs.
got Hux on there.
And that's it.
Who's forfeit 5, and it's immune lesson 5, and that's it. And if Beefred goes like ship, dude, something that adds a destiny, like Hera and 2 rebels, or just like I don't
That's a
know, like
lot.
if he
Well, I
cracks
mean-
that immunity and blows up the finalizer, Hayes is so far behind.
Yeah.
Paying for drains and doing like
And then his drains, I mean, once Beefred sets up Menace Fades, the only drain he's going to have for 2 is at Mos Eisley, and that's going to be easy to get rid of.
yeah.
So,
Well, and right now, I think if you're Beefred, even if you don't go kill the finalizer, you still set up someone at a site and kick on Menace Fades, and that makes Kylo's site a drain 1.
Yeah.
So he drops the Corvette,
yeah, we knew he had the Corvette, so
which
He's-
will ship dock.
no, he's got the barrier. He's gonna barrier the
You think so?
Corvette. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Bears a Corvette. It
That's
can't
smart.
move, so no ship docking. Because otherwise, and Beefred grabs it.
yeah.
It can't ship dock, because otherwise you could ship dock everything to it and move over.
No, there
Did
was
he
no.
forget
no.
to drain at Chandrilla?
Yeah, he
he could
did.
drain free with Jin out. He could have drained 2.
Yeah, he forgot to drain.
I don't see where's Hayes' lost pile. I guess he doesn't have one because his starting interrupt is not lost. Yeah,
Oh,
he
B. Fred forgot to go.
Tom Hayde. Oh, I get it. I had to say it out loud.
Is this
Tom
the
Hayde.
is
Yeah,
this the
that
real
might be
Mr.
how you
Tom
pronounce
Hayde?
it. I cracked his riddle. Um,
Tom Hayde has
points
the
out that
best riddles.
he forgot to drain.
Okay, so
That barrier
that
was
barrier
a
was
smart
really good
move.
for Hayes.
Slows down
Yeah.
that flip.
I mean, B. Fred could have flipped, but at the same time, you're going to just send.
Tanev can go move over, but then you've just got an empty Corvette there against potential Thrawn Chimera
Yeah.
coming down. So
Okay, so
Kraken comes
Kraken's going
down
down.
against Grievous.
I
I
don't
don't
know. Like,
know
I would rather
why.
see Kraken go somewhere else.
Right, so you stop that drain of 2, but then you still have
Yeah.
Kylo's drain of 3, whereas you also prevent 2 just
Yeah.
by going somewhere else. The only thing is if you're doing another dude with it, so you only lose one guy. If you do Leia and you forfeit Leia,
But, yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so he'll go Leia, he'll get the use power pull,
Yeah.
he'll get 2 Destiny now, so Grievous will be killed, and he'll just lose just Leia. Ooh, he can use power pull Gold Leader
There's some
so that
good
he could
stuff.
still
I
chip
don't know,
dock.
but well, I mean, do you go get the gold leader? I think you go get another random guy to put down, so that way you satisfy Meta's fates.
Well, he'll satisfy fades after he battles and kills Grievous.
That's
He'll
true.
satisfy fades at Mos Eisley.
Yeah.
So he'll stop that drain to 2 at Mos Eisley, and he'll knock Kylo's drain down to 1
I mean, he could always shuttle the Jin up to. Oh no,
if
he
he
can't do
moves over
that.
to
Yeah.
Jakku. Jin does not satisfy
No.
fades right now because you have to control a battleground site and system.
Yeah.
And if he moves Jin over, it's a non-battleground, and at the site she's at,
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
she's not
I think
controlling
right
it.
now, Beefred has to satisfy Meta's fates.
Yeah. Yeah, and John Michael points out Hayes probably has command, meaning Grievous can
Yeah.
command to cap it to 1 destiny. But still, if it's a 4, that would be a bummer to burn command, have him draw 4
Yeah.
and lose Grievous anyway.
I mean, but normally though, I mean, Diplo doesn't have the best destinies
Oh, John
because
Michael says he could command to add and knock off both characters, and then
depending on the destiny,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that could go either way. All right, so
That's if, and that's also if Beefred doesn't have a sense because Luke's on the table.
yep.
I mean,
No, did he
so
opening hand a sense, or was
I
that a
don't,
previous
I
game?
didn't see it.
I don't remember.
I mean, it just comes down to what he's going to do because, like I said, he's got to satisfy Meta's phase. If he satisfies Meta's
This is an
phase,
interesting game. This is an
yeah,
interesting match. I'm glad you guys are all watching with us.
yeah, it looks like we got. I mean, we got 39 people watching the finals. Is that? That's the thing about Beefred. I can't tell what half of his cards are because they're all signed and
Yeah,
like
written on. Can't ship dock. No
can't ship
movement.
doc.
Nothing.
No,
Yep.
maybe. Looks like okay. So I want to say it's Chewy because he's looking
Yeah.
at his
Yeah.
pile.
So he paid 2 for Chewy,
Yeah.
and he used Power Pull. So now he's going to have enough raw
Oh
power
yeah.
that Grievous is going
Easily.
to die, even if Grievous caps to 1 destiny.
But it's only one destiny now, right? Or is
Right.
Chewy
Kraken
Protector?
will not add a
Yeah,
destiny,
I was gonna say Chewy
but
Protector.
it turned it into 6 power instead of an extra destiny.
Yeah.
Hayes isn't
that's
going to
kinda
want to
better.
peel like 8 to keep him, so
Yeah.
he'll probably be peeling on top of his 7 forfeit. 6 and 7, he covers 13, and Kraken and Leia are 6 and 6 is 12. So maybe not. If they draw approximately equal, he won't peel, but he'll.
That's what they're both hoping for. But yeah, Befred's destinies are not the best in Diplo.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, he's also-
theoretically,
I
if
mean-
he draws a 1 and Hayes draws a dope held or something, but
3, 4,
um,
5, 6. Okay, so he's thinking about what he can do with that lone Corvette this turn too.
yeah. Yeah. I think you just got to leave it. I think he can't. He just can't do anything because that barrier. Yeah, John Michael says, but B. Fred draws 4s all the time. That's true. He'll draw Celebration and Perimeter Scan, and
I don't know. I'm going to say this: Befred has the luck of the Buffalo Bills. Sometimes. Nobody circles the wagons like Befred.
all right. So he's clearly
I mean, he's taking his time.
okay. He
Okay.
drops a free Onan Brewer. I don't know
That's
why you
good.
wouldn't do that right away.
Yeah.
That's just satisfies Menace
Maybe that's what he
Fades.
pulled with Chewie.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay.
He moves Jin. He does not battle Grievous. I don't know why. Guess he doesn't want to
Yeah, he
lose a
doesn't want to.
guy or two if command makes him lose 2 dudes and then take a counter beat.
Yeah.
Owen and Baru can move free from the farm, so it's generally a good move to
Put them at the Dune Sea because
move them to the
he's.
Dune Sea to make force him to have six
Here's my next
ability.
question: Who, in reality, who does Hayes have left? Like big characters. I mean, he's got Snoke,
So he does go ahead and deliver the plans.
and he just leaves the lone Corvette by itself. Interesting.
Yeah, he
So
gets he gets to upload a card.
yeah,
He does not flip because he doesn't control a system with a rebel. So they flipped his objective, but that's not correct.
yeah, good call. Oh no, he controls. Yep. There we go, Joe. Joe on the spot. I don't think that Beefred is going to be playing Harvest, but I mean,
Yeah, it does threaten it, but
yeah, that's
it's unlikely he has Harvest in there.
yeah.
But he does satisfy Menace Fades now, and he blocked the one drain, so he's going to take a drain of 2, 1, and 1.
Yeah, which is better than a drain of 3, 1,
3,
and
2, 2, yeah.
2.
Yep. Yeah, he blocked one drain and knocked another one from 3 to 1, so
Yeah,
that was
and I
a
mean,
good
right now
turn
he's
in.
also threatening a drain of 1, 1,
And
and
you got to figure he either has Fujix in hand or
well, he has a barrier, and I want to say
yeah,
he's right now he's
or
broad.
he uploaded it with the thing because
Yeah.
otherwise Chimera lateral just blows out that Corvette and he just scoops
Oh
the
yeah.
game. So he has to have one
And
here.
the other thing is he's also got 4 cards left in his force pile, so he's broadcasting that he's got an instant trap as well.
Yeah, I mean the Corvette's the
But the
big
big right
weakness
now,
just
yeah,
because lateral makes it power 0 forfeit 0. Though he did verify and see a lateral just a turn or two ago in
yeah.
reserve.
But I mean, the Tantum's like so far away from Tatooine right now, and that's not
For
good for.
now, it's 2 turns away.
Yeah,
It's
but that's so long. Like
Tom Hade says shuttling up Jin to the
can't
non-unique, but the problem is the non-unique's at
Chandrilla.
Chandrilla and Jin's on Jakku, so the Corvette can't move because it was barriered. So
So here's my question: if you're being so Bfred, it was before. So he moved the Tantive over before Hayes moved the finalizer to Tatooine, right?
yeah,
Because I mean,
yeah, he didn't want to move in front of it with Bale
no,
getting 2 Destiny, and yeah, he would have just lost finalizer.
yeah. And that's the thing, though. I mean, we know that Bfred plays a gold leader in Gold One. Is he playing anything else ship wise?
Let's see.
Maybe a
Let me
Bright
see
Hope.
previous games. Yeah, Bright Hope, Corvette, Tanev, Gold Leader. I think that was it.
Yeah, I mean that's a little light. At least what I'm thinking.
Um,
Okay, so he's
he checks his reserve for a site.
yeah.
Did he already drain?
Mm-mm.
Oh, maybe he's using Hux pull once per game to. Um,
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, it might be, but there's troopers in there.
okay. I don't know what else he would search for.
Yeah. Well, he's got
Haste isn't the type to forget to drain.
no.
What could he be?
I mean, Alderon's a drain of 1 right now too.
No, Bale only works with people at battlegrounds.
Oh,
So Leia will add
if
Grievous
Grievous runs
away.
away, yeah. Well, I mean,
Unless if the correct use pull was Gold Leader and Gold 1 with the Leia instead of Chewie.
no. In the long run, I don't think so.
I think Leia into Chewie into Owen and Brew just
S-
get you so
yeah,
much board presence.
yeah. You basically want to keep as much board presence for Diplo in this matchup as you can.
Okay, I don't know what that search was because now Hayes is activating. That was at the end of Fred's turn. And I don't know what could have. Maybe someone in the chat will help us out. Other than
Yeah.
he wouldn't give up a verify with Hogs. Okay, so he trains one at Jakku, loses Ahsoka, trains two at Tatooine, loses Korran, and
It's a red
it's a
card.
hit.
Yeah.
And he
Nothing.
trains one with Kylo, and he loses. He plays. I don't know what card that is. Oh, he plays a shield puller
Yeah.
first. He plays here maybe, and he loses that to Kylo's trade.
Looks like
Pulls.
he got the professor, but again, with it, with B. Fred signing his cards, who knows?
Yep. Yep.
Do you need clarification on things?
Yeah. What defensive shield did B.
No,
Fred
no,
just
no.
play?
That was Professor. No,
Okay.
what was Hayes looking for checking his reserve? How did he check his reserve at the
Okay.
end of the previous turn?
So
Yeah,
wow, lateral damage is still in there. Overwhelmed is in there, and
and
at
a
least
laser
one
cannon
gun.
battery.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Hayes is
That's
not getting the cards he needs in
no.
his force or hand. They just always stuck in reserve.
The only thing I could think of was maybe it was an in command.
Hmm.
Maybe he was looking for a PV.
Yeah, maybe he commanded and there was no admirals in there.
Yeah.
There should have been.
No, PV was in there actually. I. mm, It's bugging me.
No, Sola says Starkiller Sight Pull, but it was at the end of Beef. It was at the end of
Yeah.
Light's turn because Hayes then recirculated and activated and then drained it. So it was well
Yeah.
before that. It wasn't a deploy phase action. That search you just saw was a
Yeah.
Starkiller pull, but we're talking about a search that we don't know what it came from.
I mean, there was two cards in. Yeah, I have to. I'm going to say it wasn't in command because there was two cards in Hayes's
Use
use pile, and one of them was the force that he used for the barrier, and the other one was
yeah,
Other than Hugs, I don't see anything on table that could search.
yeah. That's what we thought too. We
yeah.
don't know.
Did he search like previous?
Well, there was two cards in his use pile, so I have to say I'm going to say it wasn't in command.
I don't know. We don't know.
He's playing multiple commands.
Yeah.
Like maybe he
Yeah,
searched earlier.
maybe it was a command. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So he
Okay,
plays
so there's P59. Forgot about that little guy.
plays P59 onto Onabaru combo. That'll be nice to cause some direct damage.
If
Um,
if the battle goes through.
sure, he could. It's a trap.
I think right now though, B Fred is thinking, okay, he's going down against Owen Baru. Maybe that's the bait out the barrier.
Well, here's the other thing. Extra dudes like that. Ooh, Jabba's space cruiser comes down on the Corvette.
Interesting.
Here's the other interesting thing is that
Okay, so B Fred's going for his hand, or his
Grievous is in a bad spot right now. In
yeah.
that, oh, he does a barrier.
Uses, no, he paid one,
Yeah.
and there's the barrier.
Yep.
So
Um, Owen and Baru distracting and getting that P59 is good because so right now Grievous is looking at a bunch of power. If he moves to Cantina, they just shuffle over in front of him. If he moves to Dune C, he doesn't get a Destiny against whoever comes down. So
yeah,
Grievous, he can't even. There's nowhere good for him to move. He could shuttle up,
yeah.
but
Hey, so I just want to do a shout out right now. We got Connor Britton, Stubley on Gemp just messaged me. He's watching the broadcast right now. He top four in his first major. That's a really big accomplishment. He lost to Hayes in the top four, but the matchup was pretty good. It was, from what I understand, it was pretty close in the first one, and then just some just a really good play by Hayes is what I got Hayes into the final. It was basically Connor had much anger in him on Shirut, and a bunch of guys.
are you talking about the It's a Trap play?
Yeah,
Yeah, we've already talked
yeah.
about this. Okay, so Hayes, so he barriers the Jabba space cruiser, and Hayes
Yes.
grabs barrier and tries to sense, and then Beefred senses his sense,
A
and the
sense of
sense
sense.
goes used
Yeah.
because oppressive is out. So it is in fact barriered. Um, Tom Haid, I think, solved the search problem. He said perhaps Finalizer was in the opening hand, and he used his bow pull for Finalizer to
That
search
could
reserve.
be.
That's the only I couldn't think of anything, and that does work.
Yeah, that works too.
Ooh,
Ifon Monta to the cantina.
Effet Monk
Interesting.
comes to the cantina, which
That's
means Leia cannot move in there.
no. Neither can
Kraken and Chewie can.
Yeah, Kraken and Chewie can, but that's. I mean,
No
Chewie's not
spies.
a is Chewie's not a scout, is he?
I think FMon just stops spies. He doesn't stop
Yeah, no, he
scouts
doesn't
too, does
stop
he?
scouts, but I'm saying, is Chewbacca a scout?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, no, 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 he's
He's
not. For
not?
Kraken? No, I think he stops
Okay.
Kraken. Um, yeah, so now Grievous can go in there with FMon and be less scared.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, what,
so,
maybe.
smugglers. John Michael suggested it's smugglers with spies that he stops. I think that's correct.
Yeah. And
Um,
is that Chewie a smuggler?
oh, Chewie. That Chewie is a smuggler, I believe.
Yeah.
All right, so he plays the FN
FN
2003.
not traitor.
Effant is spies, gamblers, and thieves. Okay,
Okay.
so Chewie is not any of those. All right, so then he plays the other trooper. So the first trooper, FN 2003, can cancel
Cancel
own
game
and bruise
text.
text, so they can't draw Destiny.
Yeah.
That's
But again,
nice.
B. Fred's broadcasting right now that he's
Yep,
got. There's
and
the Issa trap,
he plays it. It's a trap.
and being that he's already used one of his senses, B. Fred pretty
It's a
prob.
trap is a
Yeah,
made sense.
that too.
So then he moves over Grievous
Yeah.
to the cantina. And what's he gonna do with that space cruiser that's barriered? Nothing.
Nothing. That
It's
thing's gonna
just
get
gonna
blown
die.
up. Yeah. Well, I mean, he's gonna have to put somebody who's ability 3, because that Corvette's only has one
A
ability
one.
on it.
That's a good point, but he
I mean,
should
but
have
Hera
something.
does that. I mean, we know that Cornhorn's in the Lost Pile. That he would be a good one. Shirut, who I want to say Beefred has Shirut in his hand, doesn't
Isn't a
isn't a
pilot,
pilot.
right?
So
Oh, Gornall points out, can Chewie cancel Effant? Yeah, he should be
yes,
able
he
to.
can.
So Chewie could Cantina shuffle in,
And then
cancel Effant's text, and then
and then
Leia could move in.
with the Cantina shuffle.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
good call, Gornall. Yeah, he's a 3-2 with I want to
No,
say
2-3.
is it 2-3?
Yeah, he's power 2, ability 3.
Yeah.
Um, so Chewie can cancel anyone
Phone,
of power
wallet,
less than
keys.
4.
Phone, wallet, Jar Jar drinks. I don't get it.
I mean,
Okay, yeah.
Shaw did the Keith face.
Is that Phil?
It's just a classic. Yep.
Why is Phil like? Did he go home?
Yeah.
Phil, I'm sad. I wanted to play Avalon or something with you tonight.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah,
sticking
he's
around to
got
play?
family. Yeah, I'll be around. I'm staying up late tonight.
But you got family, right?
I do. All right, so right now,
It looks like
Beef Red is draining. So he
yeah.
just drained with Jin for 1. He drained at the cantina for 2 because of Leia being an Alderaanian. Um, oh yeah, Phil had a.
Yeah, you're blue too, and Mishki's always red because he. I wouldn't say he was a breakout star. We know that Harpster played him.
Stone asked if Effemon was the breakout star. Harpster played him. Now we do see Hayes played him. It's because no idea is ridic. And
Yeah.
so you're like, all right, well, I guess I play this dumb Effemon card
Yeah.
and power the hut, or not power the hut, but Jabba's space cruiser so that you can drop him, pull Effemon free, and shuttle him down to the beach. And you just have to do silly stuff sometimes
Yeah.
when stuff's a
Well, and
little
that's the
warped
thing.
from an
Like
overpowered
Hayes
deck.
isn't playing Power of the Hut, so the fact that he is just floating it is just, it's interesting. I mean, but that's a really good tech against no idea, as you saw. Like,
Phil agrees. Mishki's red.
well, I mean, Mishki has the biggest tell in the world. Like, you just call him red, he starts freaking out, and then his face turns red, so you know he's red.
All right, so Beef Red pays
Yeah.
4. He decides not to Cantina shuffle in and attack.
Interesting.
Yeah, really interesting. 'Cause that means he's going to let him have that train too, because you're not
Yeah.
going to pay 3 to move those
No.
dudes in
Oh,
later.
sure, it's down anyways.
Okay, but why not move those dudes in also for free, right?
Free.
That is,
That's a good play.
I don't know, maybe he has something that'll just take it out right now.
Yeah. I
But
still want to say,
you
okay, so
would
he's
still
got
put those
Ray
extra dudes in,
on
Ray.
the Corvette, so that Jabba Space Cruiser is going to go down in flames.
It sure is.
That's his use pile. I see a lot of good cards in his use pile. Gold Leader and Gold 1, Leadership. I don't see anything else because he just took it away. But yeah, there's some good stuff in there. I wonder what he's taking. I mean, the gold leader in gold one. The gold leader in gold one might be interesting because then you drop it in front of the finalizer, move that Corvette over.
Now that he's flipped, he's getting plus.
No, he's not flipped. He still doesn't control
Oh,
with
you're right.
yeah, he
You're
still doesn't
right.
control a battleground with a rebel.
Yeah.
Because
So,
one, Ray's not a rebel, and two, there's a Corvette.
well, he
Or
doesn't
there's a
control a battleground
yeah.
system with it. When Tanev moves, it'll. Oh, so he plays another Willard.
Now,
He still
once
doesn't
he gets
control
rid,
it. Yeah, yeah. Once he
once he
kills the
gets rid of
cruiser,
that
he'll flip.
space cruiser, he's going to be flipped.
So yeah, so if he could go gold leader and gold one plus a rebel pilot
Yeah,
to Tatooine, then
that
he
that could
could.
be a very big blowout. But I want
Oh,
to.
he reacts with the laser cannon
Oh,
battery, and there's a sense. That might have been the use pod pull.
wow,
So this laser cannon
good.
battery
That's a
goes back to
good.
hand.
That's good for Beef Red.
Beef Red draws a sense for destiny. So a lot of senses.
Yeah, I mean, looks like he's got one destiny left, but that one
Oh.
destiny is going to get at least rid of the.
Oh, and then Beef Red took that sense into hand with Mothma. That's his one card in hand right now. Is that
Oh,
sense? He had one card
that's
in hand. He must have pulled it
great.
with right, or no, he had another one and he pulled Phantom Willard. I don't know, but either way,
Yeah.
that was huge. Tom Hayes says, "Why did Hayes tell Fred F and stops Chewie from moving in?" I don't think he did. I mean,
I don't
how do
think
we
he
know
did.
that? I
I
don't.
mean, we.
I don't know why you would think he said that. I mean, we can't
Oh,
hear what they're
did he?
saying. What do you mean? Fred went to move Chewie in.
That Chewie's got to be
That's what it
a
looks like. Hayes
something.
pointed at FMon. Um, I'll look up Effent. You look
Yeah,
up Chewie.
yeah.
Effent says spies, gamblers, and thieves. And Chewie.
I'm looking for the.
Okay. I use Holodeck, the Android app, and it's great.
There's a holodeck Android app.
Yeah. Um,
Jeez.
oh, it must be Chewbacca.
Chewbacca is a smuggler.
Yeah, Chewbacca Protector is a smuggler,
Yeah.
but that's not a spy,
Yeah.
gambler, or thief.
You want to go in there and let them know?
Yeah, I don't know that that's what happened with.
I would just ask, and then if they don't say anything, don't bring it up. Yeah. Okay, so Joe went in. I'm sorry, I'm just messaging Stubbly back, Connor. But yeah, Joe went in really quick to see what was going on, why there was that point to F on Mon. So we'll know here in a second. Okay, so he is asking. Okay, so yeah, I want to say it wasn't oversight. If it was an oversight, I want to say it's too late, but this is, there is active judging. Just so everyone knows, I don't realize I don't know who the active judge is, but we'll figure out everything in here in a second and let everybody know. Joe will come back, but oh, Beefred just by his hand motions, he does not look happy. And I wouldn't be happy either. Yeah. Hey. Okay. So Tom Haid. Yeah. If you're saying he's pointed at Ifant Mon, oh, they're discussing. Yeah. Oof. Because this is okay. I can tell by the look on Joe's face. This is not going to be a fun situation.
You know, Beef Red is not happy
Oh,
that no
I
one
can
caught it.
imagine.
And I told him like as soon as we caught it, we looked up and came in and said, but he wants to go back to move them all in the control phase. Yeah, you can see he's
Yeah.
relocated them all, and he's wanting to say like, hey, we need to do this, and Yeah, it
And
seems like the consensus is like, well, that changes a lot of the turn because
it
Ray was
does.
deployed, used pile pulls, like a lot of different stuff happens. But
But at the same time, I mean, that was a total miss on Hayes' part.
it was. I guess he's saying I would have moved them all in and played Churret somewhere else. I don't know what he's.
Yeah.
They're in the battle phase.
Who's the active judge?
Charlie, but nobody caught. Like, I mean, Fred
Yeah.
didn't catch. Obviously, neither of the players caught it. We didn't. It is they.
This is a show and thaw.
Yeah, he's there.
Okay.
They're figuring it out.
Okay. Do you want to go ahead and find out what the?
No, we'll see by based on where the characters are.
Okay. I mean,
So I guess he's letting him move in. So I guess what happens is they're redoing that control phase. They're saying Chewie moved in, canceled effing text. Everyone else moved in, and then instead he's playing Churret somewhere else.
wow. Wouldn't be a Star Wars CCG tournament if there wasn't a little bit of drama.
Yeah, it's all right. It
Yeah.
was an honest mistake, and they're
Yeah.
fixing it to however they
And,
deem
and you
fair.
know what? I'm going to say this. It's really good. It's classy of Hayes to do this, personally.
hmm
So,
So there's only one in Fred's reserve deck, but Gornall points out Churret can recirculate. That way he can battle twice.
yep.
Stubbly asks why Leia could move there because Chewie could cancel Effen's game text,
Yeah.
and once his game text is canceled, spies can move in.
Yep. So, Stubbly, there's your secret tech for no idea.
Add in Chewie Protector.
Yeah.
Or you just play the Quite a Mercenary V. It's also good. Alright, so I think we are back
I
real
mean,
time where they are.
yeah.
They
So,
figured out what they're doing.
we're start at the start of the battle phase. So, I mean, Bfred's most likely going to start up in space.
Yep.
Then from there, obviously, he's going to sheer route, recirculate, battle at the cantina.
So he plays Fanfare so he can search his reserve. Um,
There's the PV, get combo, sheer route. Wow, there's a lot of. Is that a Zizor as well?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, Zizor on the Space Cruiser seems really good. Yes.
Yeah.
Good call, Tom. Yeah. You know what? Uh, might have to tell B. Fred about that and
Yeah, that was
have him sign you a card or something.
yeah, and
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
realize he had pointed at FMon. I think we were looking up text or doing something, not paying attention. That Gornall pointed out, hey, he doesn't stop him, and I was like, oh, maybe he didn't realize. And then Tom Haid pointed out, like, oh, apparently he tried to move Chewie, and he pointed at F, and so then that's when I went in. I asked Charlie, the active judge. I was like, what happened in the control phase? Did he try and move Chewie in and not have
Okay.
Kimura says it's kind of on Fred for not checking for himself. That's true, but with active judging, we don't want with Hayes saying, "Hey, Effetmon is
Yes.
stopping him." An active judge should say, "No, he's not."
Yeah. And that comes down to not everybody does know what the card does.
Yeah.
So,
Phil says, yeah, he was wondering if he was just trying to move Chewie or everyone, and Hayes told him, no, you can't. He was just apparently trying to move Chewie. Hayes said he picked
okay.
up Chewie, and he told him no. And when I went in and asked, he was like, he's a smuggler, and I was like, he doesn't stop smugglers, just
Yeah.
spies, gamblers, thieves. So, yeah, he tried to shuffle Chewie to cancel the text and move Leia in, and then was
And
told,
you
no,
know
you
what?
can't
I
do
mean,
Chewie.
that was the
So
smart
they
play
fixed
for
it
B.
though.
Fred. That was
It
the
looks
right play.
so. It looks like Jabba's space cruiser, which is immune less than 5, just got battled. He tried to react with the laser cannon battery. So let's go back into the game now
Yeah,
that
yeah,
that's
yeah.
all resolved. Laser cannon battery got sensed and went back to hand.
Well,
He
the sense
drew a
went back
sense
to
for
hand.
Destiny. He
The
drew a sense
laser
for
cannon-
Destiny,
Yeah.
which Mothma took into hand, and then the power difference Hayes just peeled some, rather than losing the space cruiser. Now he
So-
battled. and he's going to play a command to add a destiny.
Is it adding?
Yep, which he has a sense again.
Yeah.
The
Wow.
that sense, of course, that Mothma just took.
And he can take it. And can he? He can't take the sense again, but
So he goes ahead and senses it
Yeah.
and draws a
Oh,
leadership.
leadership. So he's got his own leadership
So he
now.
has to lose one. Oh, he did play no try, so he has to
Yeah,
lose
he
two
loses
in
two.
sense now. Okay, so he's not. He's just gonna get one destiny.
And there's a recirculate.
The Chirrut recirculate. I don't know why recirculate because he still had one destiny.
Well, he didn't because he's had a sense.
No, he had two, and he just drew one. He just put the one destiny he had on top of the.
Maybe he's drawing.
No, Mothma did not take the sense destiny into hand. She only took a battle destiny. On the previous battle, he played a
And-
sense to cancel the laser cannon battery, and then he drew a sense for destiny and took that sense back.
Okay, and he can only take the one. It's once per turn.
Yep. Okay, and so
Highest ability character is Luke. Luke is on the decisive at Alderaan,
yep.
which
Effin is forfeit +1 with the Cantina text, so he covers.
Yes.
Interestingly. All right, so he moves the
And there goes
Corvette over
Chewie.
and flips, and then he moves the Tantive in front of the space cruiser,
yeah.
and then
Well, he's got to do something with Owen Baru.
right, he'll move them
Yeah.
over.
I mean, that's still a drain of two because it's your game
there's a
text.
stormtrooper there. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Menace Phase is not going to impact that. It's still a drain of two.
Maybe he leaves him. Maybe he's got another. No, he has no hand right now.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose two to P59 and have the game text canceled so they can't draw Destiny. That seems bad. So
It's really bad. So yeah, he's got to put him in front of Sheeran. I mean, he is flipped, so that's a little bit helpful. But yeah, he's definitely got to get.
let's see what he does.
He's messing around with his force pile still.
Yeah.
Nope, he's leaving
He's
him.
drawn. Okay.
Interesting.
That's weird.
Ballsy.
He has to hope to draw into a Hujix or It's a Trap or something because he doesn't get a Destiny. Maybe he's thinking, maybe he's forgetting Finn will cancel his text, and he's thinking I get a Destiny and it's going to be Destiny plus, like
This could be
+4 to
this
my
could be
total,
bad.
and
This could be really bad.
right. My guess is he's thinking P59 doesn't make forfeit 0, and I'm gonna get a +4 to my total battle Destiny.
Yeah,
But instead,
this could be really bad.
Owen and Baru will cover 9 by themselves though, and he's only got 9 power right now, so he's definitely could lose 2.
Maybe he's
he
got
might just draw into a
here's the
Hujix
other
too.
thing. Maybe he has keep your eyes open.
We
He
don't-
just if he drew into it.
Right, but the problem is
We don't know.
He didn't know either when making that play. He's like,
Well,
he
I mean,
might have known some of the cards in his force.
yeah, I was
guess,
gonna say
but-
he could have been tracking what he had in his force pile.
Yeah,
because he
I-
did see
I still
what he
think the
had
right
in
move
his.
is moving him away,
Yeah, I agree.
but we'll see. He probably has Hujix, John Michael. You're right. He very well could, but he had no hand. He had 0
Yeah.
cards in hand when he went to his draw phase.
And that's
So
what it comes down
he
to.
had to be. He had to either know what was in his force or get lucky.
I mean, he drew everything up but one. So
Yeah, he
you,
he got to
throw
draw
up-
like
you have to
5
assume
cards.
that he's looking for that Hujix.
Which John Michael spelled Hojix for you.
I know how to spell it. Spelling it's not the issue.
No, he spelled it like you say it. All right, so
No, I don't. I say.
with the hoe, H-O-E.
Well, you know what else sounds like hoe?
Your mom?
Joe.
Oh, that's true. All right, so let's
And-
see. So he did not battle in the cantina then? I guess he just shuffled them in, and then deployed Chirrut somewhere else.
No,
I
he
thought
did
was gonna...
that.
Oh yeah, no, he did because
Yeah.
Ephemon died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ephemon
Okay.
and Chewie died.
Right. So Finalizer's going to drain
So-
2 at Tatooine. He's going to drain 1 at the Jakku site and 1 at the Starkiller site. So
Yeah.
he'll do 4 damage this turn.
Well, the nice thing is for B. Fred, he gets that 2 Destiny now. Because Chewie's no longer there. He's going to get the 2 Destiny.
Hey Ming, what's up? Glad you're watching.
You know.
All right, so B Fred starts peeling for drains. Hey, what's up,
Hey,
Brandon?
Brian. Yeah, Brian and I had a nice little fun game earlier in the consolation.
Brandon?
Brandon. I'm B. Fred, Brandon.
Ooh, Fred just lost Celebration from hand?
Interesting. That's
Maybe
not
he
good.
plays two?
He's got to play two.
Maybe it wasn't from hand, but it looked
No,
like it was.
that's
That's got to be a mistake because he's going to move over to Tatooine and take it
yeah,
over.
yeah,
And I feel like right here he's going to eat cards with Owen and Baru. Phil says he's down to about 10 life force, he thinks, so he thinks he just can't peel too
yeah. I
much
don't
from.
think he can.
He's not going to
I don't.
stabilize him.
You know what? I
So
mean,
now he drops the laser cannon battery, which I don't know that it helps him that much because Bale's on there.
yeah. Maybe he's forgetting that Bale's there.
Or maybe he's going to move it over to the in front
Yeah.
of the Corvette. So he
Or
initiates battle at the Lars farm. And he pays one to Finn to cancel its text.
oh no, Fred doesn't have a. He doesn't
And
have a
Fred
Hojix.
just put his head in his hands.
Yep.
He
forgot.
forgot that that happens.
He forgot. Oh.
I knew as soon as he didn't move him, I
Yep.
was like, he's thinking he's getting +4 to his destiny,
Womp womp.
and now he gets no destiny. Yeah.
That's game.
P59 shoots, hits, lose 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needed to just move that away. He didn't want to eat the Drain of 2
Yeah.
because his life force is getting low.
And,
But
and I understand that, but
except the problem is, you don't eat a Drain of 2. Yeah,
That's
there's a
shakes. Yep,
handshake. His
that-
life force is too low.
yeah, his life force is too low. So Hayes Hunter is your Endor Grand Prix, your 2020 Endor Grand Prix.
And
You know, yeah,
I'm glad that misplay with Effet Mon didn't affect it. That Hayes basically said no, let's fix it. He said
Yes.
let's put Leia, Chewie, everyone in the cantina, and if you wouldn't have put Chirrut there, if that had happened, put him somewhere else. And
Yeah.
so they fixed it, continued on with the battle,
Yeah.
battled in cantina. That's super classy of
yeah,
Hayes
and
not to
I
say
agree.
it's
I
too
agree.
late.
I mean, you gotta feel bad a little bit for B. Fred for getting that misplay.
But it ended
But you
up
know
not
what?
mattering because
No. I'm talking about the FN.
oh
Yeah, forgetting that the
at
game
the
test was
end,
gonna be canceled.
right there. But
Yeah.
the thing is, he should have moved away.
He
Anyways,
should have.
'cause
I 100% agree.
Because
I
even,
100%.
even if he gets a Destiny, what I'm saying is, you stop the drain of 2, but you
But
lose
what
to
is
a
that?
P59. So
Yeah.
it doesn't
It
net
doesn't.
you
Yeah,
anything.
it doesn't matter at
And
that point. Yeah.
but then yeah,
Yep.
having to take
So
overflow because you get
Yep.
no Destiny. That's right.
Hayes Hunter, your 2020
Hayes Hunter
Endor
takes it
Grand Prix
down.
champion. So
he was my pick to win coming in. I said
Oh.
Hayes Hunter's going to win this event.
You just did.
yeah.
I tried to tell you it was gonna be you.
You know what? My boat was on you.
Yeah,
I liked. I liked you. Hayes plays really well.
Hayes is a great Star Wars player.
So
Yeah.
active judging Hayes in that round. Hayes does not make mistakes.
Hey, yeah, Taco Bell was like
Yeah.
Hayes wasn't making mistakes on that. The effort was obviously a mistake, but yeah, Hayes is
Yeah.
a very
Yeah, that's the
precise
thing.
player.
Like,
I'm gonna
except for the Ifant Mon, like,
I'm gonna see if
but-
either one of them wants to do an interview real quick before we wrap up this.
yeah, we would definitely want to get Hayes on just because he is the.
Pictures with everybody.
Yes, and then we're going to be taking pictures. So Joe's going to go see. I'm going to step out just because Joe knows what happened in the first game. Well, obviously,
I'm gonna sit in.
we're gonna. Yeah, Bill's going to sit in until Joe gets back for a little bit. Bill Kafer, one of your other top 8 Indoor Grand Prix
Is
players.
there any questions you have about anything?
Um,
Go.
What's your opinion on the current state of the Air Force?
I'm trying to be in the Space Force, so
What do you think about the Space Force graphic or the Space Force logo?
way better than Spice Brown Air Force.
True.
Favorite burrito at Chipotle. So definitely chorizo when they had it. Currently carne asada.
Favorite alcohol beverage?
Depends what mood I'm in. It's definitely beer. If you need
Yeah.
me to get specific,
No.
okay.
I'll tell you what. Bill, Paul, and myself went out on the brewery tour. That was a lot of fun for anybody who missed it. It was really, really fun.
All right, I'm giving up again.
So,
Just switch the two commentators.
yeah. Yeah. So, we're going to be doing an interview really quick. I'm going to step out. Joe's going to do it. And then I'll have Joe sign off. Stay tuned for more Star Wars activity. We got the NPC coming up in April. Still don't know when Worlds is going to be. Euros is going to have their tournament over the summer. Monday nights, Chris Gogolin does his OCS online stream. Jerry and I do our stuff on Wednesday. We're going to try and get Brandon Beatty on in the next couple weeks. Definitely want to go and talk to Hayes at some point as well on our show. But So I'm going to be signing off. Joe, take over. Thanks for everybody who tuned in, and we'll see more of you guys later.
All right, we got Hayes Hunter here coming to do a quick interview. We got his trophy here. They're gonna be getting some pictures of him in just a minute. But before you guys tune out, if you have any questions for Hayes, put them in the chat. Phil starts us off with a good softball question for you. What is your favorite burrito at Chipotle?
I don't really like Chipotle,
Don't like Chipotle,
but
so
I can tell you what I get at my normal place.
okay.
Rice, black beans, regular flour tortilla, rice, black beans, all three, which is the pico, the lettuce, the cheese, chicken, obviously the meat, and then you need the cilantro, the taquiera sauce, and onions.
No guacamole.
No, it dilutes it. The taquiera sauce at this place is fucking amazing.
All right, good question from Phil there. So you won the Indoor Grand Prix. Congratulations. And what's your thoughts about the weekend?
Dark sucks.
Oh, dark.
So, I mean, I was playing a map deck, and I took out. So yesterday, all right.
Let's talk about this deck.
So we discovered that map no longer holds a candle now. To like, all right. Ugh, God, I'm tired. Okay, so used to throne room and map. 50-50. You might even say map was slightly favored. I mean, there's a lot
Strategic was a big
yeah,
deal.
strategic made a huge impact in the game. And just having to play around it, right? And so now that that's out of the equation completely, light doesn't actually even have to go to space. And because of Cytor, they can just stack one site with two lightsabers and drain for 4. And dark, I mean, they're conceding Jakku, that's fine. But now, like, dark is like, okay, well, I can cover a site and a system. How are they going to get the third location? If they go to the third location,
resistance.
right, and it sucks, like, so it's just too tough because, like, Ashoka, Run Luke Run, like, so if they go first, they activate more than you, they're going to plant on Starkiller base, and then their advantage because they can move between those two sites and do their dumb tricks over there, so you feel like compelled to go to Jakku because it's safer, and then you're just behind in the damage race, and you can never catch up. You're out activated, and they're out damaging you, and they're putting way fewer cards on table.
And then there's no idea.
Let's not talk about that.
Okay.
So the logic of the deck yesterday, I had a trooper package. I took out all the tricks. I took out everything that's fun in map, like projectile telepathy, close call, gravity shadow. I mean, I took out like all these. I think I took out gravity. I don't remember. Anyway, there was. Anyway, so yesterday was 3 trooper assaults, multiple sense, multiple sniper dark strike. I upped it to 3 Kylos, which was good because 2 of them got monarched at one point. Grimtoshed. Anyway, so
Beats.
Trooper beats. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to space and not try to flip, and I'm just gonna hold this in my hand, and I'll eventually attack them with Kylo and make them lose 2 force and hit them. And make them. So I was trying to be.
Power.
I was trying brute force it. That was
Yep.
my strategy yesterday. And today, when you looked at the breakdown, all the people in the bottom played mains, and everybody up top we put on control decks. We put Eric. I knew obviously Eric and I were both playing No Idea. We figured Stubbly Connor would be playing No Idea. Brad played Brad. Beefred played Diplo yesterday, so we're like, okay, control up here, mains down here. But people are smart enough not to play mains for elimination games, right? You want to play something. So I'm like, okay, I have to change the focus of the deck. If I play against mains, I'm just going to lose by as little as possible. I'm just going to, if they want to drain race, I'll drain race, and I will see how it goes. Sorry, I'm cold. It's cold. Is there a door open? It is cold out here. Anyway,
We do that just for the stream to get everyone's nips showing. It really brings in the viewers.
At one point, Hayes went like this around game.
so today, so last night, and this is the worst, right? Normally when you go to big tournaments, you know what you're going to play on the final day. Like going into the final day, that's what you're really supposed to be prepping for a big event. Because the normal Swiss stuff, you'll get through it, right? So you're supposed to plan for day 2.
This is what privilege looks like in Star Wars CCG.
So this time, because we hit this like discovery late into testing with the preview set and so forth, we didn't have enough games under our belt to like come to these realizations until last minute. So like basically it became a scramble day one to put together a semblance of a deck. And then last night at 2 in the morning, I'm like, I still don't have a dark deck. I was talking about playing like Tatooine CRV that pulls Mustafar and pulls its sight, and I give them no battleground locations, and you play like you 3POs and Afras and Never'n Yalls and blaster proficiencies and all this crazy stuff. I'm like, I will give mains no battleground sights, and I will just own these two systems, and I'll play Athlast R2 and Gravity Shadow and Tractor Beams, and incidentally, you can drain for 9 in space because Maul at his system is a 2, Kashyyyk is a 2, Quiggold because you didn't
Yeah.
start an objective,
Yeah.
makes Mustafar 2, and then Shinra's like 3s.
Right.
Anyway, I was off the rails last night, and Phil repaid kindness. He said, Hayes, what's the deck you're going to make the least mistakes with? What's the deck that you know inside out? I'm like, yep, you're right. I'm playing map again.
Yep.
But we can't play the same map.
Phil Austin is a champ.
So he is. Phil is probably one of the nicest. It's really hard to say
There's a lot
that
of nice
comment
people.
because
Phil's
there's a
amazing.
lot of. But
Phil's
he is a
super nice.
genuinely nice human being. Anyway, so we took out all the trooper shit. I'm like, this is a bunch of slots. What are we gonna do? We're like, well, let's see, Diplo. We need an independent starship or something. We're like, this one pulls F and Mon. That seems good. So against I played against No Idea today, and I used pulls and so forth. I got it to the system. Sent F and Mon to the beach. He was at the beach all day. It was amazing. Anyway, so it's all this weird stuff in the deck. I played a Relentless Pursuit, which is Darkside Power Pivot. I played 2 laser cannon batteries because Bale can only protect the one ship. I really wanted to shoot down his Corvette. You saw my Destiny in that last reveal. It was 2 sixes, which are 7s,
Yeah.
1 Snoke, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5. Anyway, it was anything was going to hit. I was going to blow up Ray and Vanden Willard with a fucking Jabba space
then he
cruiser and an
sense
LCB.
and
Yeah,
then-
yeah, yeah. He had the sense. Whatever. Regardless, so laser cannon battery. We figure he can only protect the one ship with Bale. Whatever,
It's also great versus No Idea, who doesn't pack bail.
correct.
can keep your eyes
Well,
open.
most builds. Actually, the one I played did, but he didn't find it. I did other things with space. But yeah, I mean, so it had the overwhelmed, it had the relentless pursuit, it had the gravity shadow, 2 laser cannon batteries, 1 lateral damage, and overwhelmed still. Just weird, funky card. And of course, you have to play 2 liters, and Zizor is a champ, man. Zizor, because everyone's trying to go wide, Zizor's like, you can't draw. So, Zizor and Doctor E together, it's like 12 power.
Yeah.
They beat up Saw for overflow because he couldn't draw with his little.
All right. So you built the janky day 2 map.
Yeah, nobody play this map deck. Please don't copy this deck. It is so bad. It is completely not like if you take this to a tournament, you will lose because it's not designed for a tournament. It's designed
Designed for day two.
it's designed to
Match play.
play 3 games and lose by as little as possible.
And win by a bunch with No Idea.
Yeah, oh yeah, I was totally in this current format. I think Light had an almost 60% win rate. I think close to
Yeah,
that,
it's
like
58 to
58. Like the normal variance is like when all the like my bring a
It
performer.
would be like 54 to
Well, bring them.
to 46.
Well, depending upon how you looked at the numbers, right? You could always play with what sample size, but it was always like 52, 53 versus, and then when you take like that out, anyway, it's never been this bad. So if you aren't Xing an O with Light, you are doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Like it is. So I was, and I screwed up against Fred. I did the same thing. Well, so at Worlds against Emil, I didn't wait for Luke to be in my force pile to Ray. I just hoped. Like I didn't. It
Yeah.
wasn't a sure thing. So I wasted my Ray pull on not Luke, and then Luke was available this time, and I didn't do it, and it almost cost me because like I feel like I should win that by more than 9.
Oh, at one point at the end of Brian Fred's turn, you like did a search. Did you have finalizer opening hand and then bow pull search later?
No, I searched for my shuttle. That's not in the deck. I took it out.
Oh, you paid 1 and
I
shuttle
paid because I
search.
thought so. Those 2 cards that the very first 2 cards of the game I activated. Like I figured out
Those
what they
2
were,
windows were
but I didn't know
confused.
which order they were. I was trying to spend Thrawn, and Thrawn was the bottom card of my force pile. I was so when the whole sense barrier thing was going on, I was trying to figure out if I could like grab my own sense to like spend more. Like I needed to spend both forces, and I couldn't do it.
So you grab your own sense.
No, I Right, but that didn't happen. I never could spend Thrawn, but that's what I was doing. It was a 50-50 shot to put Thrawn at the bottom of my deck so I could Chimera for him. And then I would love the laser cannon to be there instead of the stupid space cruiser. Take 7
Hey,
overflow.
shout out to Platypus SW who's subscribed with Twitch Prime for 15 months. If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free subscription. It pays the PC $2.50 every month that you're subscribed. So that's a good way to support the PC if you have Amazon Prime. OCS is starting next week, February OCS. So go buy your season passes so you can start playing the OCS. Hayes, your next question is from Matt Caruli. He asks, how does it feel to be the shorter brother?
Um, it's good because I have an easier time finding pants and shirts. It's okay. I'm tall enough.
Um, all right, so all that discussion on that dark deck spun out of sort of your initial comment of the meta of dark being
So the
not,
weekend,
not in a good
you want
spot
the
right now.
softball answer? This weekend's fantastic. I had never like done Grand Prix back in the day, and the only reason I came out here last time was because I was asked to do commentary last time or
Or TD, I
judge.
think you
I
TD.
teed it. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
here last, and like honestly, the most fun I'm gonna have is tonight. Now that all like the
Oh yeah,
unfun
we're
is
gonna
done,
start
we're
playing
gonna
other
play some
games.
Avalon. Like
Force goes and gets it.
Yeah, well,
we
we
can
got that
proxy
Star
it.
Wars one, right? Anyway,
Anyway, so Endor is a fantastic
Secret Hitler.
time.
Yeah.
I mean, the keg, Werfs. So I have to say, like, Werfs and Kessling is like the best bromance in the world. They make any event great, but here especially, Werfs really steps up and puts together a nice. I love the. So I'm drinking my coffee that Dennis was nice enough to get for me. Free, not sucky coffee the
In the
entire
lobby,
time.
hotel lobby, the
People
entire time.
are anyway. That's yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
it's a
really
good time
nice
here.
yeah. Free super cheap and like it's for our purposes. It's a fine spot. But all these guys from the West Coast, like I feel bad. I feel guilty after the first time. I'm like, man, I feel bad. You guys always have to come to East Coast side of everyone on the East Coast needs to make it out here sometime. It's wonderful, and if you like to partake in any sort of things, that's a thing here too. I hear. So
We've got a NARP player who says he hasn't played since Decipher ran events, but he's wondering why is map so good?
Acid, well, it's less good now, but the reason I still picked it in light of all the terribleness is its efficiency. Um, you start off with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 1
5-1.
starting ratio. You get the easiest access for dark to space.
Right, when you start alert,
Yeah, like
pull
i.e.
finalizer. So for this newer player who doesn't necessarily know,
Right, you want to be in both theaters to win the game. You win the game by satisfying battle plan. If you can't satisfy space in a deck, you're losing mostly. So dark, it's the safest, easiest, best way because you're spending 8 force to get a 13 power ship that's immune less than 5. You get to pick out the best trick out of your use pile. And all the stuff is automatic. So you get your activation guaranteed. Small. I mean, all you have to do is play one dude to get all of your locations. I mean, it's just a very smooth setup, and then it rewards you for paying attention. Like I make a lot of decisions for the following turn based on what's in my use pile, but it's just it's a deck that lets you cheat. You get to look in your cards and pick out the magic one, and you just roll with it, and you can go.
use pop pulls are good.
You're very good at fighting at singular locations if that's what the situation requires, or you can go wide because you're playing like a million dudes, and the destiny of those dudes is actually pretty solid. So it's all around nothing outstanding, amazing. It's just a really strong mechanic. It's a really strong launching pad. Even with all the nerfs, it's just consistent. It's nothing flashy.
All right, last question. Then we'll let you go. We'll get the pictures for
Are
the
you kidding?
Twitter
I'm
and
getting
stuff.
caffeinated. I'm just getting started.
Oh boy.
I have to
Then
get ready for tonight.
yeah. Well, we'll go get dinner and then we can play games all night. Last question. If uh, if you were playing in the OCS next next month and you were wanting to qualify for the top 16, what are the top 3 light decks and top 3 dark decks you would consider playing?
Throne room.
Uh-huh.
No idea.
Uh-huh.
Diplo.
Okay.
And for dark,
Uh-huh.
uh, w- well, I guess to be fair, everybody has to play games with both sides, right? So you don't have to win all your games. You just have to win more than the other people
That's
who are
right.
playing also dark decks.
That's right.
Um,
You need darks that can win a few games.
I mean, the fact that I devolved to playing starship weapons tells me that dark is such a bad. So I'm gonna say, like, I mean, map. Yes, I'll throw it out there. Court. If you just want random like good stuff in the
Court,
meta,
you're hoping
court,
to match up against no
court. You
idea
hope
and
you
not
don't.
throne room.
Right, court. You and it's still a battle even then.
Yeah.
So court. Um, hunt. No. No. Hunt's so
Black
bad.
Sun?
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. So
Or weird stuff with spaceship weapons. You could add spaceship weapons to any of those. The Falling's Fist
didn't-
can use a laser cannon
didn't
battery.
you say don't copy this deck? Wasn't that a big disclaimer you threw out? Now that you have to come up with top dark decks, you're like, well, maybe. Yeah. So all right. So if you guys are looking at participating in the tournament,
Just
or
play 3
in
of
the
him. He's
online
SC1. He's like a
OCS
main
tournament,
character.
There's some thoughts for you from our latest Indoor Grand Prix champ. Deck lists will probably be posted with sometime this week if you want to see what those winning decks were. And thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed the stream today. Go make sure you click subscribe. Check us out on YouTube and our weekly shows, Gogolins and Jerry's and Dan's Hollow Theater show, and sign up for upcoming events. NPCs in April. Go pre-register. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Congrats again, Hayes.
Bye.